Hey family, I am exhausted, which is why I am drinking coffee. Although this is funny because coffee doesn't work on people with ADHD. Fun fact: people with ADHD actually get more relaxed with coffee, not more hype. So I don't know what I'm doing. I might as well be drinking tea, to be honest. All right, guys. So for those who've been wondering, I am still traveling. I am so exhausted. I will be traveling for the entire rest of this month. So the fact that I am live today shocks me. I thought I was going to do a live on Monday and Tuesday and then say peace to y'all until Labor Day. I mean, sorry, not Labor Day, until the reunion, obviously. But shit has gotten real. Shit has gotten really, really real. But before we get started on why I felt compelled, because let me tell you, this is my only day off this entire trip. I'm mourning that. This is my only day off this entire trip. So I'm traveling. I'm on the East Coast helping my mom and my dad and taking care of some matters. For those who don't know, I pay my parents' bills. So I pay their mortgage. I take care of my mother's medical bills. My dad goes to visit her at the hospital. He has to call me for me to pay for the Uber. I have a high bill count, right? And so when I come out here, it's basically to make sure that everything's okay, that they're good, that my mother feels good about seeing me because she gets lonely because I live across the country, to make sure my dad has groceries. Like, it's a whole thing. I can only do lives when I can sneak away into a hotel because there's no way I'm doing a live in my family home. Number one, the Wi-Fi is slow, the lighting is bad. So I have been doing family stuff for the last 72 hours and just booked into this hotel like an hour and a half ago, and I couldn't even relax because new mess kept happening. I thought I was going to get to the hotel and take a little nap and then get on live. Child, mess on top of mess. So I'm just going to sleep hard when I'm done with this, because tomorrow I have a full day in the morning. After I check out of the hotel, I got to go check on mom one more time. Then I got to go head to the airport earlier than usual because I don't have a real ID. I forgot to bring my passport. So I don't know what it's like to be at an airport with these new rules without a real ID. Number one, I think real ID is ice coded, right? Somebody said, Blue, you must be the oldest daughter like me. Yeah, I'm the oldest cousin of a family full of cousins because, Caribbeans don't really believe in condoms, apparently. So I'm the oldest cousin, and I'm an only child, and I have the oldest energy in my family. All the adults in my family act like I'm older than them. They're all children. My uncles, my mother, my auntie when she was alive, rest in peace, my stepdad. One day I'm going to do a story time about how I've had several shamans and readers tell me that I've been around a million times and was not supposed to come back for this lifetime. You know how they say you come back every lifetime to learn something new? I wasn't supposed to come back, apparently, which is why my energy feels so old. And I believe that because I don't know what it's like to feel like a child around adults. I've always felt like, "Ooh, what's wrong with you?" You know, Stewie from Family Guy. Anyways, so I'm doing family stuff, and I wanted to make sure though that we had this live today, not tomorrow, today, because tomorrow after I finish taking care of my parents and hop on the plane, hopefully real ID will not get me in trouble. If anybody in here knows what it's like to not have a real ID, let me know, because not to flex at all, but I flew Delta One to from LA to Boston, right? Delta One has its own private entry and its own private TSA. It's not Gen Pop at all. It's not even part of the regular airport. There's its own entrance. So when I got to Delta One on, what was it, Saturday, and they were like, "Oh, you don't have a real ID," because it's a concierge service. Nobody had a problem with it because they're like, if you can afford this ticket, you're probably not a fugitive, which is weird because fugitives be having money. But the flight that I'm going to be taking to New York doesn't have Delta One. So if you hear a story about me being detained at JFK, prayers up, okay? Somebody says, I've been using Clear. Yes, but even Clear needs you to upload your passport, and I forgot. If you don't have a real ID, you have a passport, and Clear requires you to have a passport, and I forgot to upload my passport. So yeah, guys, pray for me tomorrow that I get to JFK without any weirdness. I am flying Delta One back to LA, though, because I don't want no problems. And if you can afford it at least once in your life, please fly Delta One. All right, guys, let's get into it because today has been a mess. The original intention of this live, which is why I had originally planned to do it at Sunday at Bridget's house. I'm staying with Bridget next week. I was like, oh, I can just do it on Sunday, right? Because I wanted to talk about why we have to protect EJ. For those who don't know who EJ is, don't worry. I will make sure that even if you don't even watch reality television, you'll be able to keep up with us, right? So the intention today was to talk about why we have to protect content creators like EJ. Since then, though, so much more has happened. Huda's fans, as you can see from the title, have tried to get Olandria fired from her branding jobs. Cierra is in the midst of what I fear might be psychosis. We finally saw Nick's response to why he's not calling Cierra. Just a whole lot of Huda's fans done turned on her. The hood rats have turned on Huda. Didn't think I see the day, but the reason why they turned on her are not so great. I'm not just talking about the Biscoff cookies on the plane. Do y'all have ADHD too? Anybody who's new here, hi, my name is Bluecentric. I'm a writer, producer, and an emotional intelligence coach who likes to champion the powers of self-mastery and ego death using pop culture and politics as a platform. So I talk about reality shows, I talk about politics, but the entire time it's a Trojan horse for me to explain to you why emotional intelligence is an essential part of your life that they don't teach in schools, right? So even though we're going to be talking about mess, I'm going to always bring it back to a lesson plan because I would not have gotten out of bed just to talk about mess, respectfully, right? So make sure you like this live so that people can find me. And shout out to everybody who showed up to the last live. The live that I did with Jesse on, was it Tuesday? Tuesday feels like a week ago. The live that I did with Jesse on Tuesday, we talked about AD and Ali. A lot of y'all have feelings, strong feelings. As long as you were respectful, I didn't mind you disagreeing. If you were disrespectful, you got deleted. I need to remind you guys, I believe in the Jackie Ina School of Democracy. You can't come on here talking to me crazy. I've always wondered why people be like, oh, don't follow so-and-so. She be blocking and deleting people. They should. If you come to someone's platform and are disrespectful, you need to be blocked and deleted, right? So keep it cute or we're just not going to see you anymore. I'm not even going to respond. I'm just going to delete it. So I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for the way that you showed up. I'm not going to get emotional. For the way that you showed up on Tuesday, because being in Boston is a little bit triggering for me because every time I'm in Boston, it makes me make peace with the fact that my mother is dealing with kidney failure and I have tens of thousands of dollars in bills that I need to pay for her. And I often have panic attacks when I come to Boston. Being in that live with y'all on Tuesday after I had just come from the hospital and being able to keep with y'all and Jesse and also knowing that I'm doing work that I love that's generating revenue by being impactful, it made me feel like, okay, there's a way out of this, right? Because I make really good money for someone who lives alone. I make really good money for someone who lives alone and maybe has a pet, right? But the American healthcare system is trash. And so the fact that I can make money on YouTube doing work that I believe in and that I've been doing for free elsewhere on Instagram. Y'all know I've been doing these lives for 5 years for free on Instagram. So the topics have not changed. The lesson plans have not changed. The content has not changed. The only thing that's changed is I'm finally being compensated for all the free labor I've been doing for all these years. And it directly impacts my mom. So doing that live on Tuesday while being in Boston, which I consider the belly of the beast, has been, yeah, I don't want to get emotional, but it's been really, really amazing. Also, I sometimes forget that I live in LA, and so I'm 1 degree of separation from everybody that I talk about. That's one thing. Now, what is happening? Every time I do a live from a hotel, I get kicked off. Is it the hotel Wi-Fi? I'm back. I'm back. First of all, I want to say thank you to Brianna. Thank you, Brianna. I appreciate you, love, for the tip. I love tips, y'all. Even though YouTube takes 40% of them, I appreciate the tips. What I was saying is I forget that when I talk about celebrities, I'm saying things that I would say to their face. So it's not like I'm being two-faced, but I often forget how quickly they're going to see it, right? So I'm always ready for smoke. Actually, it's not even smoke because I'm responsible with the shit that I say, right? I'm ready for compassionate, respectful confrontation. I still am not ready for the quickness of people knowing. So we got off of live on Tuesday, and within an hour and a half of the live ending, my friend Ashley, who interviewed AD in the clip that we used, hit me up. She was like, Blue, I can't believe you got me to 40%. They take 40%. There's a thing called Buy Me Coffee where creators can have a link for people to send them a little bit of tips directly. I'm gonna get one of those for the next live for reunion because we're gonna put in some work for the reunion. But like I was saying, my friend Ashley, who interviewed AD about the timeline of her pregnancy, she hit me up immediately after the live was over. Whatever amount of time it took her to watch it, she hit me up right afterwards. And she wanted me to tell you because Ashley was actually going to come on the live today, but she had to take care of some family stuff. So she'll probably be on next week or a week after. When Ashley and the girls interviewed AD, she said AD was lovely and sweet, which makes sense. You're a pregnant woman on a mommy podcast. Of course, you're going to be sweet because all the mommy juices, right? She's like, AD was sweet and very pregnant and seemed very in love. And there were certain things they were not allowed to talk about. Because I was like, because Ashley was like, you and Jesse were looking at the screen like we were dummies for believing her, but we had not seen Perfect Match. And there were certain questions we were not allowed to ask. And so on behalf of my friend Ashley, who did that interview, and shout out to the Mom's Den podcast in general, please go check them out if you're a mother especially. They did not see Perfect Match before they did that interview with AD. So there weren't a bunch of dummies who didn't know how to ask questions. In fact, Cody knows how to ask. Cody is actually the creator of Black Love, the Black Love platform. Cody is a Scorpio. She would have asked those fucking questions Scorpio to Scorpio, right? But they had to respect the boundaries that were set by their guests. So on behalf of Ashley, please don't judge them too harshly. Then, I can't say a name right now, someone who was on Love is Blind DM'd me. So I talked to somebody from Love is Blind, and I talked to family members of people from Love is Blind who I'm cool with. And so there might be for those who've been asking Blue, when you can talk about Love is Blind some more, there might be an episode sooner than later where I have a former contestant from the show, not the UK edition, I'm talking about the America edition. But Clayton, no, I done already met Clay. Actually, I would talk to Clay. If Clay was open to having a real conversation, when I talk to Clay, oh no. If Clay was open to having a real conversation, I think I would talk to Clay. Because I actually think that I could have a responsible conversation with anybody who I don't consider to be the devil. So I'll never talk to the president on here, but I would definitely talk to Clay. But the person who I'm thinking from Love is Blind, who I'm actually cool with in real life, who potentially is going to come on the show, he actually is a favorite of mine. Me and Jesse both love him. So if he comes on the show, it'll be a lovely conversation because he's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. There's like 10 good men in the whole fucking franchise. He's one of the 10 good men. So that's the update. Let me see anybody in here. Let me make sure that I give you guys some time to join in. What does it say? Layla Scott says, prayers up. My dad is in the hospice, so I'm with you. Oh, love, I'm sending you prayers. Your advice for Scorpios not behaving like Sophie from Love is Blind UK hit. Okay? I'm vulnerable with the guy that I'm dating instead of waiting for pursuit. Nice. Virtual coffee date in the AM. Oh, I love that. And the hospice guy. Oh, my God. So hospice is one of those things where you guys, please send Layla so much love. One of the things that I'm so grateful for, and if you watched that super long live I had a couple of weeks ago about Icky, my spirit guides told me my mother had kidney failure before the doctors did. And I got her to a specialist and got her emergency dialysis right before it became fatal. So thankfully, she's not in a hospice. She's at a facility getting dialysis 3 times a week. I will say, though, her next door neighbor, because, sometimes they'll have 2 people in a room. We're not rich enough for her to be in her own room. So she lays next to this woman who we always say hi to. The woman is 100 years old, very beautiful, beautiful Black woman. She's also Haitian. So I think they put the 2 Haitian ladies together in the room for a reason. And the woman, we just saw her a couple weeks ago because me, Bridget, and my sister all went to see my mom for my birthday because I wanted my friends to be around my mother for my birthday. And the 100-year-old lady, we helped her drink out of a straw and everything. She just passed away 2 days ago. And the idea of my mother laying next to someone who was slowly dying fucked with me heavy, but my stepdad and I kept her so happy. And so I will tell you this is not to depress you. The one thing I've learned from seeing so much death in the last couple of years and having to deal with the mortality of my parents is that death is a reminder to live, right? Death is a reminder to live. In fact, this is somebody who I know who works in the field of crossing over, who's completely transformed the way that I look at life and death, who I would love to have on at some point. She just got married, so let me give her some time to be booed up. But death was just a reminder to live. So do not get depressed when I mention my mom or her kidney failure, any of that. If anything, send her good love, send her good juju, send us a couple extra years of her being with us. If anything, I'm living more present tense now because I don't have the luxury of thinking that my mother's going to live forever, right? So if you have aging parents, please know not everybody is blessed to have a sick parent. Listen to what I'm saying before I move on to all the mess that we're about to get into. Not everybody is blessed to have a parent who is sick, because some of you are going to lose your parents with no warning. Can we be honest? My aunt, who raised me like a mother until I was 7 when I came here from Haiti. Actually, I went to Haiti to Cuba and then from Cuba to America. So when I came from Cuba, my aunt who raised me, I thought was my mother until my actual mother showed up. And I was like, oh, what's up? You look more like me. That makes sense, right? A lot of immigrants will send family over before they come over. And so the person who I thought was my mother for most of my childhood passed away unexpectedly. Losing her with no warning is 10 times worse than helping my mother through an illness. So if you have any opportunity, please record pictures and videos of you with your parents, particularly of them laughing and telling stories. Record their voice audio, because I promise you, when you lose someone, the sound of their voice will be like gold, right? If they have a favorite sweatshirt that you like, save it. Like, please make sure that you're not taking for granted, because Danielle, who was on a couple of weeks ago, I remember I was talking to her when we were both talking about what it's like dealing with parents because who are aging. Once your parents hit their 70s, something happens in the 70s where whatever bad health habits you had younger, they catch up to you in your 70s. If you think, oh, I'm skinny, but I can eat like sweetie and eat prison food, in your 70s, you will pay for that, right? So me and a bunch of my friends are all dealing with our parents who are 70 and above. Bevy Smith has been an amazing mentor to me and Danielle and other women in the industry who have aging parents, right? Old girl, what's her name? Brandy from what is it? P Valley. Yes, I don't watch P Valley, but I know it's a great show. Brandy from P Valley, I ran into her at an event a couple of months ago. She's a caretaker for her mother. So in this industry, a lot of Black women that you see making all this money, you think we rich, we're taking care of our parents, we're taking care of our family, we're taking care of our cousins, right? And I want to do an episode about network poverty, what it means when you make good money, but your ecosystem, your family doesn't. And so your money isn't your own. And when I was talking to Danny about her mom, she was like, Blue, how are you so strong through all this? And I said, Danny, this is one thing that keeps me sane. It is a luxury to still be somebody's baby. Please hear my voice when I say this. I know our parents are not perfect, and some of your parents are dangerous. Jesse's talked ad nauseum about how her and her mother have a frayed relationship. And not but, because but negates. And with all that being true and honored, it is a privilege to still be someone's child. For me to be at this big ass age and still be someone's baby and be able to walk into a room and see her eyes light up, privilege. She gets on my last good nerve. She's a Scorpio and I'm a Taurus. We're going to talk about astrology in future episodes. We get on each other's good nerves, but the fact that I even have her to get on my nerves is a luxury. Okay? Somebody said, I felt so much better replaying my grandma's old voicemails. Thank you. You guys, please. Something on my spirit is telling me before I leave Boston, because once I get to New York, I'm going to talk about partying all the time. But while I'm in Boston and still raw from being around my parents, I needed to pass this on to you guys. Somebody in here, I'm hearing several people in here need to hear this. All right, we just honored my brother's celebration of life on Sunday. Oh, Mickey, I'm sending you love. All right, now that the room has filled up, let's get into the tea, right? Because it's balanced. We're going to talk about life and dealing with life, and then we're going to talk about the fun mess. Now, for those who don't know the backstory, don't worry, I got you. So many of you hit me up and said, Blue, I've never watched Love Island or Love is Blind a day in my life, but I still watch your lives. And I want to honor the storytelling, right? Because I actually love watching videos about mess that I don't keep up with and having it all encapsulated. So I'm doing for you what so many creators on here on YouTube do for me. So let's get started. This starts with, for me, I'm going to say this from my perspective. This starts with a phone call I got from Jesse a couple of weeks ago. Y'all know that I am a Taurus woman. I'm a Caribbean and Latin American woman, right? And I'm also a Black woman, yes? These are all three groups that are known for being protective. So for me, can I speak for anybody else? If I love you, your safety matters to me. To me, love without safety is bullshit, right? So one day I'm at the house and my phone rings and it's Jessie. And without her saying a word, I pick up the phone and say, who do I have to beat up? She didn't say shit to me. I just felt it in my spirit. I said, who do I have to beat up? And that's the day she told me about what was happening with Steph with the Deets, right? This white adjacent, potentially something else. She looks slightly Middle Eastern or Latin, I'm not sure. But Steph with the Deets had just lied on Jesse and EJ. Jesse and EJ, two Black creators who are incredibly pro-Black and take tons of bullets because of it, had gone on the live talking about the irresponsible Call Her Daddy interview that Alex had done, Alex Cooper. And in the interview, they're talking about how Huda insinuated, did not say it, but insinuated that her father had been inappropriate with her. And Jessie, who was an SA survivor herself, said, I feel so icky about this because you know how I feel about SA. And Huda has the track record of being a liar. And so for me, I'm conflicted because I naturally want to have her back, but I also have to look at her track record, which, by the way, is a legally and morally sound approach, right? And so when she says that, EJ, who's no fan of Huda, says, I can see why you feel that way. And I actually think Huda might have been essayed because it would explain so much of the way that she manipulates and acts out socially. It was a very responsible and nuanced conversation about what is it like when someone who has a reputation for being a liar makes an accusation of something happening to them, because even liars can be victimized. Can we admit that? They call it the boy who cried wolf. You could lie all day long and still be great, right? A bunch of grapes, if y'all know what I'm saying. I don't want to get a copyright strike. So I'm just saying the way it was handled was beautiful. Steph with the Deets cuts the clip and posted as if Jesse and EJ are laughing at SA, which anybody who knows their heart knows that is nothing like who they really are, right? That clip goes viral because Huda fans are always looking for an excuse to attack Black people. When that clip goes viral, what then ends up happening is Jesse and EJ start getting death threats. Now, Jesse has a huge platform, beloved on so many mediums. She was able to defend herself. In fact, while she was talking to me, I said, Jesse, do you need me to go live with you? She didn't even ask me. I offered, I said, do you need me to go live with you so that I can explain to your audience why what you said was not only not irresponsible, it was incredibly nuanced and you were very fair. And she was like, well, you would do that? I was like, yep. And mind you, I'm on the West Coast, so there's a 3-hour time difference. She waited, we went on live, and we had a great conversation about them and what happened versus what Steph the Deets lied about happened. Then Jesse made a clip of the live and put it up as a statement about clarifying, right? It was a beautiful approach. EJ does not have the same backing and following. So while Jesse was able to defend herself, EJ was not, right? Again, two Black creators whose only sin is standing up for Black women. Now, here's the thing, right? We tell Black men all the time, defend Black women. I believe that very strongly. I also believe when a Black man defends a Black woman and he gets attacked for it, we have a moral and social responsibility to have their backs the way they had ours. Because so many Black men have told me quietly, Blue, I know you're always saying defend Black women, but y'all don't understand. If I'm at a club with my girl and she doesn't know how to act correctly and she throws a drink in some man's face, he's going to shoot me. He's not going to shoot her. He's going to want to fight me. And that's valid, right? There are so many times that men have lost their lives while trying to defend their women. A perfect example of a woman and something around being connected to her ended up in a fatality is Merlin Santana. Do y'all remember him from the Steve Harvey Show? When I used to work on Hollywood Unlocked with Jason Lee, my co-host, DJ Damage, looks just like Merlin Santana. We know because everybody used to freak out whenever we would go out. Brandy saw him at a party and lost her shit and thought it was Merlin because Merlin Santana, I think, was on Moesha with her or something, right? So many people don't understand that they are good men who still feel scared about standing up for themselves because of the blowback. EJ is a perfect example of that blowback. So this is where the story begins, right? I hope have I caught everybody up? Have I caught everybody up? Somebody said I watched that live and subscribed to it. Thank you. My only purpose of that live was not even for me to be involved. I just wanted you to know that Jessie had goons behind her and I don't play that shit. I will never forgive Hulu for not speaking up for my girl Shelly and Olandria. Yep, I completely agree. So when Peacock would not speak up, when Huda would not speak up, EJ spoke up, right? So this is why the mantra for today, when this live is over, guys, not now because we're still in the chat, so it's not going to show up. When this live is over, the replay gang, please, 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 please do me a favor and put in the comments after this live is over for the regular comments, protect EJ. I want that to be the battle cry because I believe in the power of communal energy, right? Latin Americans and Caribbeans, we believe in community because we would die without it. So please, when this live is over, don't forget, please write protect EJ in the comments. I want him to see layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of love from the community that gets it, because I know how alone he must feel. He might seem strong, but he's still a person. Yes? Taking as somebody who's strong and also still a person. Y'all be forgetting sometimes. All right. So what's happened since then? Why are we here? This is all old news, Blue. This happened 2 weeks ago. Jess already said that she's going to sue that lady if she don't shut the fuck up. What's the issue? The issue is Olandria has started going live. You know, I told you guys my theory. Ever since the reunion, Olandria has been more vocal, which makes me feel like the reunion might be good. And that promo clip that came out shows that I wasn't wrong, right? It looks like Olandria finally got to have her moment of chin checking Huda face to face after seeing the receipts. So Olandria and Nick are getting bolder now that the reunion is over and they've gotten some shit off their chest. I cannot wait to see the heartbeat challenge. And for those who have asked, I will not be going live during the reunion because the way my ADHD is set up, I can't think of cultural critiques and keep y'all entertained at the same time. I can't do both. So I'm gonna watch the reunion, and as soon as it's over, then go live. So just be clear, guys. I'm not waiting till the next day because I'm traveling. I can't. The night of the reunion, drink some coffee because I'm going live probably 10, 15 minutes before it ends. I'm going live at the tail end of the reunion because I want to share my fresh thoughts because I already have so many predictions that I'm already ready to spit out if I'm right. We got it? All right. So I'll see you guys Monday night. Now, Olandria gets on this live, and on the live, she finds out that EJ is in the room, and they're all telling her, oh my God, Olandria, you don't understand. This man has been taking bullets for you and Shelly for months. You have to bring him up. So we're going to play the video about what happened when this sweet boy, I'm probably old enough to be his mother, so I can say boy. When this sweet boy who's been taking fucking bullets for months, defending Black women, finally gets a chance to speak to the Black woman who he loves so much. And he wasn't doing it like a stan. He wasn't doing it like a weirdo. You could tell that somebody raised that boy right. Also, EJ's Haitian, for those who don't know. EJ's a good old Haitian boy. All right, let's get this in. I want you guys to see this. And I'm going to try to play this.
EJ's been here, yeah. He's been here.
So here right now?
He should be, yeah.
Is he? Let me check.
EJ got in touch with your sister. And so...
EJ been holding it down, girl. EJ's been holding it down now.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just gonna lie.
Oh my God, girl, I'm over here making chicken. They told me that my family up on a panel. My heart dropped a few beats. Like, let me just say, y'all, you is the most beautifulest girl in the land. Y'all, they mad. They mad. They mad. But let me tell you. Oh my God. I can't breathe right now, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Look, Leo said, hey.
Wait, she's frozen. He's frozen.
I'm frozen?
No.
Glowing today, by the way?
So what happened?
Did anybody tell you you glowing?
Pause, guys, before we continue with EJ and Olandria, because this is only about a minute and a half. How do I make somebody a moderator? Because I want to make moderator. I just banned Okie Doke. Apparently, the hood rats are in here. I'm not scared. So I want to figure out how to do moderators in here because there's so much for us to cover that is he the same guy from Jesse's Live? Yes, EJ's the guy from Jesse's Live. If you don't already follow EJ, please go follow EJ and show him some love. So I'm going to go on here. If anybody knows how I can make people moderators, let me know. Hold on. I couldn't do it from StreamYard, but I'm going to see if I can do it from in here. Hold on. Yes, I'm stopping the show. All right. Florence, I've made you a moderator. Florence, you are a first official moderator because you have been a day one, and I want to make sure. If I see anybody else in here who's a regular, new folks, I don't know you like that. But Florence is the first moderator. If I see anybody else who I recognize who really wants to be a moderator, I will. I think moving forward, we will be having moderators because, again, I don't care about them talking shit. I just want to make sure that I can present you guys with all these receipts that I spent hours today gathering for you without worrying about dumb shit happening. All right? And Florence, make sure that you keep a track of who you think should be moderators in the future as well, so that if we have any more breaks like this, you can see them. All right, let's get back to EJ being excited about seeing the woman that he's loved for so long.
Like nobody.
I'm glowing.
You glowing?
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I got a question, girl. So, where Marcel diapers at?
EJ.
Marcel potty train. What did you say?
Not Marcel.
He told you.
He been tearing up the house. The fruit snacks gone. No diapers.
Oh, you talking about Apollo and Chase? My baby don't do that.
So Marcel is the fake baby that Nick and Olandria had during the baby challenge, and Chase is the baby that Shelly and Ace had. And so she's like, "Why are you talking shit about Marcel? My baby is well trained. You already need to worry about Shelly, and Ace is a ghetto ass baby." So they're having fun banter that shows just how much he's a fan of the show and how she is gorgeous. My God. It don't matter where I pause the fucking video. Ooh, I just got a shiver. Olandria's face needs to be studied.
Nah, her baby don't do that. Nah, her baby don't do that.
He doesn't.
I still been tearing up in my comments, Olandria. Like, I don't know.
Girl.
Marcel is too funny.
Shout out Kyle.
Y'all.
Let me see.
Now, guys, here's where things get funny. You see how, and I'm gonna rewind a little bit. You see how everything was going great, and then her face dropped, and she got a message. The live ended, guys. The live ended. Why did the live end? Somebody said, "What's EJ's page?" I don't know EJ's YouTube page, but I will look it up, and if I find it, I will definitely put it in the comments. So here's the thing. Olandria got a message from her team that EJ was considered polarizing and problematic. She loved him, but she got a message saying he actually was part of some mess. And we need to end the live. The live ended abruptly while EJ was talking to Olandria and finally being able to give her her flowers. I was devastated when I heard about this. Like, why would they convince EJ to do this, right? Somebody said, "Hey, Blue, lots of love to you and EJ from Paris." Oh, bonjour, chérie. Yes, Paris, I love it. So the live drops, and there's all the speculation about what happened. And then this breaks my heart. Y'all know I love Olandria, and Olandria has been in the villa for all these months. She wasn't keeping things abreast. She's only know what she's being told, right? So Olandria is being told that EJ is problematic, and then she releases this message afterwards, after her team informs her that she can't have him on her live anymore.
Let me see.
All right, let me read this message. My eyesight is questionable because of my age, but all right. The message says, "I truly enjoyed my live last night and being able to interact with y'all, and we definitely have to do that more often. As far as me adding certain people with a problematic history I was not aware of, I immediately ended the live once I was made aware. I have love for all my fellow islanders, regardless of our current relationship. Huda. I don't see everything that happens on the internet. Keep that in mind, but now I know." Keep that in mind. You guys, if you go to EJ's page, tell him Blue sent you and that we love him over here, okay? So Olandria's wording, what does that tell us? Olandria's wording tells us that even though she believes EJ loves her, her team is saying he has been fighting with the hood rats. And it looks polarizing. And he's been accused of laughing at her potentially being SA'd. No woman in their right mind would keep a man in their chat who was mocking someone being SA'd. The thing is, EJ wasn't mocking. Not only was EJ not mocking, he's the one who said, actually, Jesse, I really do believe she was SA'd. Her behavior makes so much sense. He was actually providing nuance about how sometimes those who are abused become abusers. Imagine what it must feel like for a boy this young, right? A young man who's young enough to be my son, to be so evolved in the midst of this fuck shit world that we live in, that he not only holds space for potential victims of SA, he also understands the way that it might be misconstrued by the general public. To have that level of insight and to instead be penalized. Someone said, my heart hurt for Olandria because she was so happy to add him and the others to the live too. Steph with the deets, or as you call her, Steph with the demons. This is the perfect example of why reverse racism doesn't work. When a Black person says something bigoted and prejudiced against a white person, it is bigotry and it is prejudice, which is personal. When a white-leaning, white-presenting, non-Black person says anything about us, there's a whole system of racism that is waiting to penalize us. We are not the fucking same. Right? We are not the same. The system is meant that a white person or any non-Black person can have a bad day. If I have a bad day, my whole life could be over. And guess what? Even if I don't have a bad day, all it takes is one good lie. I'm still at risk. So for those who say blue, why can't we say reverse racism? Because the weight of the word is tethered to the weight of the punishment. And if you can't be punished like me, you don't get to call it the same fucking thing. You don't. You don't. Right? What happened to EJ's racism? Not prejudice, not bigotry, not haters. That is systemic oppression at play. I'm getting upset. Let me breathe. Let me keep on playing. This is why I spent hours today creating this video, because I know I was going to get emotional and I need the videos to get me honest. So guys, this happens to EJ and the internet is ablaze with people debating about what happened to him, but also debating about what Olandria did, right? Now tell me in the comments, somebody just wrote here, Olandria did make a follow-up post to state that she spoke to him directly about the situation. If anybody can find that link, let me know. I would love to see that because I've been traveling so much. Oh, I would love to see that because I was so devastated. And here's what I believe happened. This is where how grace shows up, because we can't ask for grace without giving it, right? Within reason. If I was Olandria, I would have done the same thing. If I don't know what's happening, right? Somebody said she spoke to him personally. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh, that makes me so fucking happy. I don't understand. I've been sick about this all fucking day. If I was Olandria and I was being told that somebody that I adore had potentially caused harm, I would have ended the live too. So even though I'm heartbroken by what she did, I fully understand it. EJ's in the chat. Are you serious? Oh, don't make me cry. Oh, EJ, if you're in the chat, show yourself. I'm gonna get so emotional. Y'all don't understand. I almost cried about this whole EJ situation because I think it is so messed up when we tell Black men to have our backs and then we don't have theirs. So I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm not gonna get emotional, guys. Remember, the word of today is protect EJ. Ladies, if he protects us, we have to protect him back. That's the way community works, right? That's the way community works. So can somebody tell me what EJ's whatchamacallit, what his screen name is on here so I can make sure that I show what he's saying. And we already showed his TikTok, but keep on sharing it. The entire purpose of me leaving my mother's hospital bed and booking into this hotel before I fly out tomorrow to do this live is sincerely because I want to protect EJ. That's the only reason I'm not laying in my bed right now taking a nap. Because they need to understand that they are powered by hate and we are powered by something else. Also, Haitian women are just very protective. I cannot stress this to you enough. If you ever wonder why I move the way I move, it's because of that. All right. So when this happens now, I'm just like, Kat, that's fucked up. I'm like, this is messed up. This is messed up, right? So then let me try and remove this, remove from studio, add a new one. Then I did some digging about like, so what's happening with the whole EJ situation? And before I knew EJ might be in here, I pulled up some clips because I wanted you guys to hear what he had to say from his own words. I didn't just want to have his back. I wanted you guys to, for those who haven't met him yet, I wanted you to meet him, right? The EJ that we know and love who's been protecting us this entire time. Because when he protects Olandria, he's also protecting us.
For the Neanderthals that thought that they were doing something, email.
Hold on. Is this the right video? Wait a minute. Hey guys, hold on. Let me make sure I pulled up the right video. There's so many videos that I made. I'm gonna make sure this is the right one.
For the
Give me a second, guys. Oh, EJ was in that first video. Oh, hold on. I just put the first video back up. All right. Ooh, bon Dieu. Too many buttons. At my big age, by the way, the fact that I'm doing all this tech shit, be happy for Auntie, because actually, let me not call myself Auntie because I'm really not that old. I just like to pretend I'm old because it freaks y'all out. All right, so let's fast forward.
EJ's been here, yeah. He's been here.
So
Here right now.
Let's fast forward to where EJ talks for himself. There we go. This is EJ. Isn't he adorable? He's so cute. Okay.
No, it's not even the specific people themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's really just the fandoms. Like, they try to single me out, and you know, it's like Operation Take Down EJ. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, I feel like I didn't do too much on the live. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to give her flowers, tell her how beautiful she is, and wanted her to feel wonderful in her skin. You know what I'm saying? To, you know, to defend this woman every single day. Like, you know, my life depended on it, and call out so many creators on anti-blackness. That has always been the subject. That has always been the goal. That's what it's always been. It's never been nothing else. You know what I'm saying? It's because I know their heart, and all I can ask is that they know mine. You feel what I'm saying? You guys can try. What you guys try to do is you guys try to like bully people and mass bully people, because we know if you guys do this individually one by one, you won't make any noise. So you guys gang up together, you guys create little communities to spew hate and racism, and you guys overlook that part to go, and then, you know what I'm saying, it's all tactical. You feel what I'm saying? I've always been a one-man army. I just became a part of an army probably a week and a half ago. You know what I'm saying? And I love my Olandria nation. I love my Shalacers. I love my Shalandrias. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, my thing is, if y'all really believe I was this type of person, would you not think that every single person would see through me and know that?
Yep.
Black man, they just deem you as miserable. Look at what they did to our girls. Deem them as angry black women. You know what I'm saying? So, and mind you, it's for so many people to not like me the way that they stalk me. I click on people's pages, says follow back. I click on people's pages on all platforms, follow back. You guys are looking for.
You guys, this is the part that really struck me, because this same thing has happened to me. I'll think I'm just going to someone's page to see what all's happening, and it says follow back because they're already following me. And I'll be like, oh, you was the ops the entire time. EJ, by the way, I'm going to hit up Jesse so that we can exchange information, or I'm going to figure out what your, I'm going to find you on, what's you call it? The TikTokies. EJ, please DM me on TikTok with your email, because I would love you to come on the show and speak for yourself. Please, please, please DM me on TikTok. You guys, we want EJ to come on the show because I want him to speak for himself. Also, too, the thing about being an emotional intelligence coach is a lot of the times when EJ talks, you guys respond to the entertainment factor of it, but you don't understand how much EQ it takes for him to break things down the way that he does. So, EJ, I'm Bluecentric on TikTok. Find me and send me your email, and I will send you an invite to come and join me on the show. Okay? Because I really, really want to make sure that you are platformed as much as possible, because there's no fucking way this is happening on my watch. The same way I jumped on Jesse's live to defend y'all on her platform, I want to make sure you come here so that my folks know that we have to have your back. All right, let me keep on playing.
It's now becoming a thing. You're looking for something to make a problem out of.
My, how the tables have turned. Y'all remember?
Now, wait, another person that you guys know I love. So EJ went through all this. And Dwight, who's also a black man who's been attacked for trying to protect black women, right? Dwight was like, now, hold on. You guys tried to get me banned from TikTok when I said that if Huda keeps on being someone who allows racism to happen on her watch, what if I was to hit up those brands that she's dealing with? Well, Dwight was like, well, isn't it funny? Now, the hood rats, and if there's any in here, I hope Florence is kicking them out. The hood rats are now hitting up different brands trying to get Olandria fired from her brand deals simply for having that exchange with EJ on her live. Tell me that's not crazy. He just said, perfect, EJ. I'm going to hit you up right after this is over. Tell me that's not crazy. Please follow Dwight as well. Black men, black women, black and brown people, our white allies, our Asian friends. It takes a community to fight racism, right? Black people didn't create racism by themselves, and we sure as fuck are not going to get rid of it by itself. So I do believe in actual allies. I don't believe in making us mules that have to dismantle a system by ourselves that we didn't fucking create, right? So now Dwight's like, wait a minute. Y'all tried to get me demonetized when I said well, if Huda's going to keep on aligning with racists, maybe she shouldn't have brand deals. But now y'all trying to get Olandria fired simply for having a live with someone who did nothing but defend her. That's madness. Let's keep playing.
Remember when the Huda Felons and others tried to get me canceled because they clipped the part of my live of me saying that I was going to reach out to brands about Huda stands being racist if they didn't stop, which, by the way, I never did and was never going to do, but I don't owe y'all shit, especially not an explanation. Well, it's so interesting to me how at the time that was taking it too far. But now Olandria went live last night and she had EJ on her live, and because they didn't like it, they're emailing brands about Olandria.
Nasty work.
So is it taking it too far, or is it only taking it too far when it's about a non-black woman? Like, is it too much or not? Mind you, that wasn't even the full context of my live because that's not what I fully said, but it doesn't even matter no more. I need to know, is it not taking it too far? Yes or no? Mm-hmm. What happened? It's not misogyny. It's not, oh, this is just a reality TV show anymore. No.
By the way, when he makes the comment, it's not misogyny, they were quick to call him a misogynist, right? One thing I need you to understand, and this is going to shock many of you. Actually, let me take this down so you guys can see my face when I say this. I don't call myself a feminist. People are always shocked when they hear this. I, Blue Telusma, Blue from the House of Telusma, first of her name, I do not call myself a feminist, even though everything about me screams what you think feminism is. Why? Because feminism, this current wave that is popular, is not intersectional. I'm going to repeat it very slowly because this usually shocks people. Feminism, as we currently know it, is not intersectional. It requires Black and brown and indigenous women to choose their womanhood over their culture. I don't believe in that shit. I am a Black woman. I am Black and woman at the same time. I'm not going to pretend that being a woman is the only thing that's happening to me. Right? So, because non-intersectional feminism, which y'all call feminism in general, is so co-opted by racist white women, I call myself a womanist, right? Alice Walker. Mind you, I've met Alice Walker in person. She was a complete bitch to me. But again, we can separate somebody's politics from someone's an impact from their personality. So person to person, I ain't like it, right? And I can also understand that I don't have to like somebody to understand their value. We constantly say this about Amanda Seales. I can not enjoy Amanda Seales as a human being and also understand her value in the ecosystem. Yes? So I'm a womanist. A womanist is what Black women who are tired of being silenced, having the Black in lowercase and the woman in uppercase call us. But I do not call myself a feminist because a lot of women who call themselves feminists, who are not Black or who are Black but don't like being Black, because that's the thing as well, will weaponize womanhood to be anti-Black. Do not hide your anti-Blackness behind your womanhood. So when they called White a misogynist just for standing up for Black women, that's why I don't call myself a feminist. Right? Because white feminism is not, for me, intersectional feminism, where they recognize that womanhood is just one of the many levers that are pulled in order to put us in cages. Then and only then do I align. Then and only then. It's the same reason why I don't believe in body positivity. That's a whole other video. We're going to do a video on the Biggest Loser documentary, so make sure you watch it because I'm not in the body positivity movement either for similar reasons. Me and groups don't get along when the groups have dirty hands. Yes? So I thought it was very interesting when Dwight said, oh, they're calling me a misogynist when I do it, but when you do it, what is that?
And the truth is that y'all was only mad because y'all hate when people use tactics of whiteness to combat white supremacy. So when you hear people saying they writing a strongly worded letter and y'all know that that's y'all move, now all of a sudden, misogyny. And I'm not interested in hearing from the self-hating Black folks right now. Okay? Right now is not your time to shine. I'm Black and I still think. We know what you think. We know. Karenisha. And let's keep in mind that she took to Twitter and she issued an apology about having him on the live, which I feel like she only did because she doesn't know the full context and y'all are attacking her. And they're in the comments being racist. Again.
So let's make sure we look at what it says. It says, as a public figure, this is the letter that the hood rats are sending out. As a public figure within the fashion space, Olandria holds influence, and with that influence comes responsibility. First of all, they sound like me. I hate it when they learn how to mimic us. It has come to light that she has recently chosen to publicly support and provide her platform to an individual known for spreading misogynistic rhetoric and engaging in targeted online abuse. Olandria's decision to align herself with someone who promotes this kind of vitriol is not only irresponsible, it is dangerous. Are you fucking kidding me? This is what y'all wrote for EJ telling her that she's glowing after spending months defending her? This is what y'all wrote. Let me breathe. Ooh, bon Dieu. I am so fucking pissed. EJ, when I hit you up, let's see if we can have you on Tuesday, because I feel like I want to have EJ on now, but I actually feel like my conversation with EJ will be more nuanced if it happens right after the reunion. All right, so here's the response that has happened now that we heard that people are trying to fuck with Olandria's bag simply because she was happy to see a black man who capes for black women. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Do y'all hear the things that they're calling problematic? A black man defending a black woman means that she shouldn't get no money. And for anybody who saw me on Threads talk about how I don't personally enjoy the way that Shonda Rhimes does the swirl, I'll be doing a video on that as well. This is part of the reason why. Nuance. We live in a world where we act like having swirly relationships is the answer to racism, but we have yet to allow black people to simply love each other. How are we jumping straight to swirling when we love each other, it's considered horrible? Yeah, Shonda Rhimes. And I know she saw my post. I don't care. I'm fair. So for those who said, Blue, why are you not a big fan of how Shonda Rhimes is interracial relationship? I said, because she never allows black people to simply love each other in addition to loving others. Right? The answer isn't, oh, if we want to hear racism, let's just dilute all our blackness with other. That's not the answer. The answer is black people need to first be allowed to know how to love themselves and those who look like them before we rush to fucking we are the world. But that's a whole video on its own, child. Let me stop. Here are the reactions to the Olandria EJ Huda Stans controversy.
The brands that Olandria are working with, they quite literally saw how a lot of y'all were sending hate her way for being her. So y'all think that a little bit of chat GBT from a fake email is going to make them not work with her?
Yeah.
Okay. Especially Nyx. Nyx was in them comments heavy during the hate train. So y'all think they're going to come up off Olandria? Especially after her lip combo sold out before 5 a.m. when it was dropped in the middle of the night. You think they're going to come off her? Oh, you're sadly mistaken.
I really hate that Olandria just went on Twitter and tweeted that thing about EJ joining her live, because now the hood rats and every other community that was hating on her is gonna take that and run with it and feel justified. And the whole time it's like, EJ has done nothing wrong. I don't care what y'all are saying. These racists turned it into them showing their hatred for black women, and now all of a sudden made excuses. Sorry, somebody was calling me. But they literally been showing themselves with the George Floyd thing, with everything. And now all of a sudden when he defends her and...
The George Floyd thing, for those who don't know, they did a AI picture of Olandria as George Floyd and Huda as the cop who ended his life. The same group of stans that are doing pictures that reenact Huda choking Olandria to her demise are upset. Child.
Talk to y'all how y'all been talking about her. Now all of a sudden he misogynistic. But now all of a sudden he all these type of things. And she's running with it. It's pissing me off.
Situation between EJ, Olandria, and the whole Honda Avengers clan, because that's what y'all are, is so unfortunate because y'all took something that was so innocent and turned it into some bullshit. Like, EJ is someone that has genuinely gone above and beyond to show love, admiration, and defend these two black women. When the world was against them, he was on the front line. Difference between EJ and a lot of us, for that matter, versus y'all, is the fact that this is not about obsession. This is about genuinely backing two black women who have done nothing more than exist. Like, this is beyond a show at this point. This is about confronting implicit bias, racism, and self-hatred. What a lot of y'all fail to realize in your obsession is that you think you're genuinely helping your fave. You think that taking something away from Olandria or Shelly is going to help boost your fave in the eyes of the public. When little do you know you're actually hurting her more than you're helping her.
Exactly.
Because not only is her attitude and general disposition a PR nightmare, but she has a bunch of degenerates backing her to help in that. Y'all are literally risking probably incarceration and even your very lives, for that matter, because you want to dox people for someone that doesn't even know you exist and probably wouldn't even piss on you if you were on fire. Y'all move like barbs, but what you fail to realize is I'm pretty sure that Nicki Minaj is damn near blackballed at this point. So again, how the fuck are you helping her exactly? This just plays into my point that I've been saying. A lot of y'all are letting your hatred towards one or two outweigh your love for your quote-unquote fave. Because how can you genuinely say you love them if you ultimately wind up fucking them out of opportunities?
That part, protect EJ. That part, right? That part. How are you claiming that you are a Huda fan, but you're putting her in a position where she cannot be someone that brands want to deal with? How are you saying you love Olandria when you also do the same thing? I need you guys to understand that that's not love, that's obsession. Someone wrote, oh, first of all, I love it. Lashik, is that what I call you? Is that just your screen name? I just want to make sure I'm calling you by your name. The theme has always been to neutralize black male protection and leadership. That is why they attacked Ace, EJ, and anyone to remind them, how dare you speak out and choose black women? Exactly. That sums up this part of this live, right? Is that a lot of times women like Huda and different kinds of non-black men assume that black men don't like us either. How many times have you seen a white girl talk shit about black women around black men and be completely comfortable because she knows that it's okay, right? We have taught them that our men will not protect us. We have taught them that you can talk shit around us to our men and they will not protect us. So when our men are like, don't do that, that's my mama, that's my sister, that's my girlfriend, they freak out. I also think if they freak out watching black men protect us, does that not explain why they're completely having an aneurysm about Nick? They don't even expect black men to defend us, let alone white men, and Nick does not fucking play about Olandria. Somebody said 3 dreads. Exactly. The way that Taylor mocks and disrespects Olandria casually is what they expect from all of us. All of us. There's nothing more unnatural in this systemically oppressive ecosystem than a black man who not only likes black women in his bedroom or as his sisters, but who actually defends them verbally in front of others, even when it doesn't convenience him. That is not the norm, unfortunately. Which makes me incredibly sad, because back in the day before they were breaking the backs of bucks and selling them off to different plantations, that was 100% the norm. So when I said earlier, we need to protect EJ because we need to show black men that they can stop being scared about having our backs, because so many black men have told me, Blue, I love y'all, but I know that if I speak up to protect black women, I'm going to lose money, I might get shot, X, Y, and Z. That comes down to what happened on plantations. If a mandingo, if a strong black man protected his woman and his children, he would get lashes. Y'all joke that everything is about racism or slavery, but it kind of is. It kind of is, guys. And here's the thing, too, right? What does AD always say? The call is coming from inside the house. Unfortunately, in this case, the call really is coming from inside the house. Because if you want to talk about a black woman who did not read the fucking room, a black woman who should have understood, hey, babes, considering what Shelly and Olandria are going through, maybe watch your mouth. Fucking Coco. Fucking Coco. Coco had a response to the video of Olandria saying that she did not feel like talking to her. Because apparently Coco doesn't know how to shut the hell up. By the way, for those who are saying, I wish Nick stopped saying Huda was bullied on those interviews because Huda rats are latching onto it. Don't fall for it. He didn't say that. What happened was Keke Palmer interviewed him right after he came out of the villa. That video is from the day after they came out, before he saw any videos, when him and Huda and Olandria were still hanging out. So stop saying that, guys. Nick did not say that recently. He said it fresh out the villa. That Keke Palmer interview was dumb old. I don't even think we could even pay Nick to sit next to Taylor non-contractually. Right now, you only see Nick with Taylor when he has a contractual obligation. And he be making faces at him like, what's wrong with you, nigga? So I just need you to know, the video is old as hell. The video is old as hell. Back then, Olandria and Shelly were saying things that we didn't agree with because they hadn't seen the episodes yet. They hadn't seen the backlash yet. And the Call Her Daddy video had not come out yet. So for anybody who's under the misinformation of, well, even Nick is saying she was bullied. No, when Nick came out the villa and hadn't seen anything, he said, if she was bullied, I don't know. But I do know I felt bad that it was 1 girl versus 4. Although I will say, it makes sense for it to be, it's not isolation because words matter. The word isolation is misused. She wasn't isolated. She was a threat that was neutralized. Isolation means to make somebody feel alone so that they're disempowered. Neutralizing means to neutralize a threat. Big difference, okay? Now let's get to Coco, aka Shelly's leftovers.
How do you feel about Olandria saying she didn't want to say hi to you? Her feelings are valid. I'm not here to invalidate anyone's feelings, but I am here to clear things up and let people know that anything that may have been misconstrued or misunderstood, I'm here to clear it up. It was never intended. I was never intending on throwing any shade or being disrespectful. Like, that was never my intention.
So what was your intention, Coco? Real question. When people say that was never my intention, the next time somebody says that wasn't my intention, please respond, then what was your intention?
Who crashed out at the reunion? I don't think I should say that. Y'all gotta watch that, but I don't think y'all just gotta watch that. Watch that, tune in.
Not to doing promos when you were on the show for 36 hours. Coco's been promoting the show longer than she's been on it, and it's hilarious. It's actually hilarious. Now, here's the thing, right? So I've already said ad nauseum, the only reason I'm here on my 1 day off for the rest of this month is because I was disgusted about what was happening to EJ and I wanted to lend my voice to power, right? I knew that if I spoke up against him, because a lot of people in the industry know that I'm not scared of nobody. That's why when I spoke up for Jesse, I'm speaking up for EJ. I have done something that I've watched very few people do, but those who do it always do it well. Jason Lee taught me this, actually. You can't be canceled if you don't subscribe. If you are a maverick who does things the hard way and does it on your own terms, no one can take it from you. The reason why I've been doing this for so many years, and some of you are just finding me out, is because I might not be someone the general public knows, but your faves know me, right? That's why I'm always worried about name dropping. I made sure that people who had power and influence knew me before the general public knew me, which means by the time y'all get mad at me, I can't be canceled. Not because I'm perfect, but because I am covered and I have integrity. And so be very, very clear that when you see me on here defending people, it's because those who could take something from me don't exist. Guys, I'm completely self-employed, right? I'm self-employed on my own platform. And I will at some point, probably end of this year, top of next year, start talking to the community more about how do you protect yourself from being attacked and also having your livelihood taken from you, the way we're watching people weaponize. Because what's happening in Trump's administration is people are weaponizing commerce against Black people, right? 350,000 Black women have been laid off from tech industries since June. It's only August. So for those who said jealousy and envy about Black Coco, absolutely. Because Coco even said, had she been there first, Ace would have picked her. That's a bold statement to say to somebody who's already in a relationship. That's a bold statement. Very bold. Well, here's the thing from the live that EJ was on, where people are speculating that this was shade from Olandria to Coco. I'm not sure. Let me see what you guys think. Do you guys think this was Olandria throwing shade? I do think that she was talking her shit, and I love it, though.
I think I'm gangster now. Do you know who my folks is? Matter of fact, do you know who my daddy is?
Her daddy's affiliated. For those who know what I mean. He has shooters, allegedly. Okay.
I don't think of nothing. I am.
She said, I I don't think I'm nothing, I am. What did I tell you? She been different since the fucking reunion. She has been different since the reunion, and I love it here.
But y'all will see about that. Like, as we get to know each other, y'all can see where I come from and who my folks is. You be like, oh, got it. Pretty sure a lot of you got.
So for those who are like, what is that? What her dad is what? He's allegedly in a family of street men who congregate as a community. I feel like I'm being so clear here, guys. I don't want to get in trouble with the YouTubies, but like, think about it, okay? Yeah. Her father, her father, you know. Yeah. Okay, that's all I'm going to say on that, because I want to stay on the right side of the YouTube algorithm. I will say this, guys. So up until a couple of hours ago, this would have been the end of the live. My only intention, protect EJ, tell y'all to have his back, go follow him. Now that we know that we found him, I'm going to have him on the show next week. It would have been great. And then I kept scrolling. And was shocked to realize that there was more mess taking place, and it was happening with Cierra. Somebody said he's in a frat per se. Okay, so it's so funny. Somebody said he's in a frat, and then somebody, sorry, big bad booty mommy does not understand how to be subtle. We up here trying to be subtle. Be careful, everybody. We're still on Donald Trump's internet, okay? So the live was supposed to, not a street fraternity. Yo, the fact, I thought Midnight Ballerina was clever. Street fraternity. I'm going to start saying that. Olandria's father is part of a street fraternity. By the way, for those who were like, but I thought she was a Southern lady. I'm a fucking lady. I will tell you this. I don't get along with anybody more than street dudes. Street dudes love a lady. There's something about the juxtaposition. Street dudes love a lady. Okay? So this should have been the end of this conversation. Unfortunately, Cierra, I'm now concerned for her. I'm now concerned for Cierra because she's doing a lot. She's doing a lot. And remember when we started this live earlier, I said, hey, it took me a second, but we got clearance to show the Nick video. I had to figure out, you guys know copyright is a big thing when you're on YouTube. I could do a 2-3 hour live and then put 30 seconds of a copyright video and it's all demonetized. Now, I figured out a way to post a clip of Nick without being demonetized. Let me go check my checks. And you guys know I have this trick that I do that I'll upload a video first on the back end and see if it stays monetized. And if it stays monetized, then technically that should mean that I'm okay to use it. Let me see if the video has been demonetized. Let me look. Before I play this video, I just want to make sure I don't lose my stuff. Let me see. Okay, it looks like the video has still been monetized. I'm about to play it. Fingers crossed. Cierra's been tripping. Cierra's been mother tripping. And let's pull this up. Cierra's exactly. By the way, when the video was called "Cierra is exactly who we thought she was," Cierra's who I said she was when y'all attacked me. I have a video with 2.7 or something million views on TikTok where I was the first person to come out to explain why Cierra saying the C word is the least of her problems. All of y'all were attacking her for using a slur. I was like, a slur is the least of Cierra's problem. I think she's unwell. If you haven't seen that video, it's on my page about Cierra, right? So a lot of you thought that Cierra's biggest sin was using a racial slur. And I was like, no, pan out. Again, never wrong, just early. And everybody thought, oh no, Blue, you're tripping. It's just the C word. I was like, no, I would not have attacked her for saying the C word because she apologized, she acknowledged it, she did all the things that we say is accountability, right? Because accountability is not about punishment. It's about acknowledgement and bettering your behavior. If she acknowledges she used the C word and never use it again, technically she's accountable whether I like her or not. All right? I don't make the rules, I just follow them. So my issue with Cierra was not about the C word because she actually handled it correctly. My issue with Cierra is her character. Let's get into it.
Cierra is wild, and whatever her PR team told her to do is working, because this definitely got my attention. She posts this on Instagram to my surprise. I opened up Instagram and I see this post of her saying, "You look happier. Thanks. I booked a flight to Mykonos after surviving the villain edit on reality TV, and I didn't end up with the guy who never actually liked me and wanted my friend the entire time."
For those who don't believe that happened, this is the actual post, right? So imagine you're minding your business as Nick and Olandria, and you're thinking, oh, we're going to have a conversation with Cierra because we can understand why she'd be upset. And by the way, guys, I'm going to get into in a second after this video plays. I have to use the bathroom, but luckily this video that's about to play is going to be long enough. I'm going to get into in a second about what my thoughts are on the moral and ethical obligations that both Olandria and Nick had towards Cierra, because people aren't talking about that enough. I am not a blind follower who's going to pretend just because I love Nick Olandria, they have no obligations. And I'm going to talk about what I think about Nick's explanation as to why he did not give Cierra that conversation that so many people think that he owes her. Okay? We are going to get into that. But first, I want to make sure, somebody said they called it hot dog lips. Y'all going to hell. Oh, my Lord. I be trying so hard to have integrity. Y'all just up here just cutting up. Y'all be cutting up in the chat. So I want you guys to understand. Cierra posted this and Nick saw it. And I'm about to play the clip. Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm about to play the clip that I spent an hour making sure wouldn't get me demonetized. Lord, let this clip play without me getting in trouble. All right, not glizzy lips. Y'all need to behave. Y'all need to fucking behave. All right, let's play the clip. On Nick's response.
So did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I mean,
You know, it's too funny with that face. I'm some.
like, but I mean,
Have y'all spoken?
no. And I was taking my time to process things, and like that video just like was so off-putting for me, especially the way like I still speak so positively about her after like she posted that, and I spoke so positively about that, about our relationship before that.
Yeah.
I never once like bashed her. I never once told her like that I wasn't interested in her. I told the first interviews I did, I said like we were exclusive. Like that's a big thing for me. We were in this close close thing, and that I cared about her. And then like through her leaving the villa and then exploring Olandria, which is what Love Island's about. And I found this like great connection, amazing connection with Olandria, and then she's bashing me for that. So to me, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take that on the chin.
Now, let's discuss what Nick said. I hope that clip was worth it. Nick, in his own words, said that he has made it a point to never talk shit about Cierra, and that favor has not been returned. I want us to discuss something real quick, right? Because you guys know I love nuance. The premise of Love Island is to try out a buffet of different dishes to figure out what plate you want to take home, right? The overall premise is explore until you find your match. Yes? Now, within that premise, every franchise, every season, and every relationship then negotiates their own working agreements. You guys know I'm an emotional intelligence coach. We were not going to have, if you thought we were going to have this whole episode without me having an emotional intelligence lesson, you must not know who the fuck I am, right? We are going to have some free game as always, because my intention is not just to entertain, it's also to educate, right? So I'm going to right now pull up what working agreements are so that you guys can see for yourself that this is not a term that I made up. Working agreements, by definition. Hold on, let me put this on the screen. Oh, this is small. Hope y'all have good eyesight. A working agreement, also known as a team agreement or team norms, is a set of guidelines that a team collaboratively creates to define how they will work more effectively. These agreements outline expectations for communication, collaboration, and processes fostering a productive and respectful environment. So, whether you realize it or not, every relationship has its own set of working agreements, right? So a lot of times when y'all are debating, was that shady, was that fucked up? The first thing I ask is, what were the working agreements? Not what I would do, not what you would do, not what she thinks is fucked up, not what I think is fucked up. What are our working fucking agreements that I've been held to this entire time? That's why when Shelly got mad at Huda, and y'all said, but it's just a challenge. I said, those weren't the working fucking agreements, bitch. Y'all see where I'm going with this? The point on day one, day dot. No one is allowed to look at my man, touch my man, smile my man. Y'all can't even breathe his fucking air. Avert your eyes when you see him. Did she not? Fuck the premise of the show. Fuck it being a challenge. Her working agreements were, if you are my girl, right? If I fuck with you heavy, you know that you are not allowed to have any kind of flirtation with my nigga. Pretend he ugly and short. Yes? Now, did the other Islanders have different working agreements with other people? Absolutely. Plenty of people. Olandria was allowed to kiss on everybody. Right? Taylor didn't give a shit about that lady. She could kiss on. He watched her kiss all his boys and did not care. Right? So, in a world where Shelly knows, so Ace has made it clear that he don't want us making out, right? Because Shelly and Ace have their own working agreement. Everybody else can bust it down and spread it wide. We're not doing nothing until we get home. We're not going to hunch until we alone. That was their working agreement. Meanwhile, what's her name? Not Iris. Hannah is starting her vagina for Pepe. Because apparently there's no lube. Plenty of alcohol, but there's no lube. So in a house where Hannah can throw spit into her hand and start her vagina like she's in the woods somewhere, but Shelly and Ace are barely holding hands, we are all very clear that even though the premise of the show is taste a little bit of everything, every single relationship has their own working agreements. Yes? Yeah, she spit started her vagina for that man, and it was on national television, y'all. Like, why y'all acting like I made that up? Y'all saw the video, boo, and next thing you know, they were hunching. Yes? So in the same house, we understand, let's not be intellectually dishonest. We understand that every relationship has its own way of working, and everybody respects the individual relationships. That's why when Huda, who had it so that nobody was allowed to even breathe her man's air, then sat on Ace's face or licked his balls or whatever they're going to show us on Monday, Shelly was like, now hold on, bitch. That goes against our working fucking agreements. That's why when y'all said that Shelly was being a hypocrite, I was like, y'all don't know how that word works. That's not how the word works. If someone says, let's honor the agreement that I've upheld my part of, can you uphold your part? Where's the hypocrisy in that? Can y'all read? No, seriously, where's the hypocrisy in that? Shout out to Emily Ujumobi. Oh, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Emily said, and I'm trying to figure out how to put it up, but the thing is acting up. I think the only reason he did not say anything about Cierra was for his benefit a bit. Like, let's be honest, it would have brought scrutiny on him. Actually, I disagree with that, Emily. We're going to get into that in a second. And She Meets City says, found you through Jesse and so grateful. One thing you're going to do is give us a laugh, but also make us think. Oh, I appreciate y'all. Emily, I understand why you think that, Emily, but I'm going to unpack that for you a little bit. So, what was Nick's working agreement, right? I'm working up to this. Nick is not perfect because nobody is perfect. So let's not, under the premise of Blue saying Nick ain't never done that wrong. Unless you're talking to Jesus Christ, I'm never going to say that about any man, any person. Nick's working agreement, the one thing that has been consistent about this man, even if he don't like you and doesn't fuck with you, if you are a woman, he's going to tell you the truth to your face as much as he knows how to, and he's going to protect you. He literally said, Huda, I want you off the show. But Olandria, Shelly, she's crying in the corner. Let's be cool, right? Nick has been very clear that he will tell you an inconvenient truth, right? He will tell you an inconvenient truth, but he will not disrespect you verbally. Yes? Can we all agree to that? I'm going to give you all a second to think about it. Can you think of one situation where Nick has ever disparaged women? Making a woman uncomfortable with the truth is not disparaging. Words mean things, right? Nick will tell you an ugly truth, but he will not talk to you crazy. Can we all agree to that? I'll wait for somebody to think of an instant when I was wrong. Nick will tell you an inconvenient truth or just shut the fuck up. He's very good at shutting the fuck up, but he will not ever talk crazy to a woman. I cannot think of one situation where he ever talked crazy to a woman. Somebody said that him and Pepe were good about that. Yes. You can think whatever you think about his actions, but Nick does not talk crazy to women, period. I'm intentionally waiting, guys. When I ask questions, they're not rhetorical. I'm autistic. I'm literal. If anybody wants to educate me on a time when Nicholas talked crazy to a woman, not when he told the truth and made her uncomfortable with the truth, but talked crazy to a woman, please let me know. Exactly. So if his working agreements are, I'm not going to talk crazy to any woman. That's his first working agreement. His second agreement is, anytime Olandria is free, I'm going to tongue her down. Everybody and their mother, including Cierra, has admitted that anytime Olandria's mouth is free, he's down. In fact, during the heartbeat challenge, Cierra actually said, and I quote, after Nick swallowed Olandria's foot in his mouth with Cierra right next to him, right? Cierra said, damn, he swallowed her foot so hard, I can still taste her toenail polish on his lips when he kissed me afterwards. I'm gonna let it cook. Emily, I hope this is helping you, love, because I love that you made that comment, because a lot of people are not thinking about the nuance here. He swallowed her up. He swallowed her up. So, the man don't talk to women crazy, privately or publicly. The man will tell you an ugly truth, but he'll never tell you a lie. He'll just shut the fuck up. A lie of omission, maybe. He just won't say anything, right? And anytime Olandria is down, his mouth is ready. Do we agree? Even if there's any Huda stands in here who can think of when I was wrong, let me know. Yes? So, think about this. Do y'all see where this is going? Do y'all see where this is going? Had Olandria been anybody else, Cierra would have been worried. Had Olandria not been a dark-skinned Black woman, Cierra would have been worried. What did she say when she found out that Nick and Olandria were set up? Oh, I'm happy it was her. Huda said the same thing, right? A lot of the women, particularly Huda and Cierra, were under the perception that Olandria and Shelly were going to be their sidekicks. So if I've made it clear that I want this lady since day one, physically at least, right? And when she and I explored something for 17 minutes before her misallegiance to Taylor got in the way, we told you. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'd rather just not say shit. That is Nick's working agreement with every woman on the island. So when Nick says, I have never said a bad word about her, true. True. He hasn't. Because he hasn't said a bad word about any of the women. So when y'all are like, why is Nick saying that he can see where Huda's coming from? Because Nick makes it a point to see where all the women are coming from. Now, the men who talk to the men crazy. I don't mind that, right? He'll talk to the men a little crazy because niggas talking, it makes sense. But Nick has a chivalry streak, and the minute you see his mother and his sister, you immediately understand why. He was raised that you don't ever talk crazy to a woman. Even if she's getting on your nerves, even if you are distraught, even when she rejects you in front of millions. Y'all talking about Cierra. What about Olandria? Olandria told this man out of fear. Yeah, I just think we homies, right? And he was like, oh, got it. Another working agreement for Nick is he lets women show him their boundaries and he follows their lead. When Olandria says, let's just be friends. All right, let's just be friends. My bad. We just friends. When Olandria says, I'm going to let you touch my booty, bet. Bend over. When Olandria says, come kiss me, mouth wide open. When Olandria says we go together, now he's now showing up with scratch marks. Just so you guys, I posted a video on my threads. Nick went to Greece and came back with scratch marks all over his back. Clark that, yes. So he is constantly letting women take the lead. Whatever a woman feels comfortable doing, he's down to do it. He's not going to talk to her crazy. And if he has something negative to say, he will never say it publicly. That is Nick's character. That is not my opinion. That is the timestamp. That is the receipt. That's what we've seen for the last, 3 months now? With cameras everywhere. So no, Emily, I don't think that Nick didn't say anything for his own benefit. I think Nick was being consistent with his character. Does that make sense, guys? And also, think about this. Exactly, way different from Taylor. When Nick found out that Cierra had been let go for a racial slur, what did he say? He does what he always did. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. And if that is true, that would be disappointing. But I don't know anything about it, so I can't speak on it. That's how Nick talks. So if you were okay with him saying that about the racial slur, why are you surprised when he says, Huda said that she was bullied? I don't think she was bullied. I did recognize that she was by herself. And I told the girls, even if she hurts your feelings, she's still another woman. She's still a person. Is that not perfectly in line with Nick's character? That's not him apologizing for Huda. That's a consistency of character. And guys, what do you call someone whose character is consistent no matter how inconvenient it is? That, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is the definition of integrity. You don't have to like Nick, but his integrity is pretty fucking solid. Integrity isn't about what you like. It's about consistency of character. That man saying, hey, I've never said anything bad about Cierra. And so I was very off-put and disappointed that she's been taking jabs at me and my girl before we could talk. And now that I know that she's okay with making things worse on not just me, fuck me, but making things worse on my girl, I don't have anything. I don't want to talk to her anymore because I'm not clear if she's going to use this to weaponize it against my girl further. What's hypocritical about that, guys? Where's the hypocrisy? Because words mean things. Where's the disparity of ideas? I fail to see it. That man at his young age has more consistency than many of our daddies. I feel like every other year I'm finding out that my daddy has another secret child that I didn't know about, right? So as someone who knows what it's like to be around men who have no integrity, I think a lot of you are struggling to recognize Nick's integrity. Not perfect, not always right, doesn't always do the right thing, and yet the integrity remains. When Olandria rejected him, he said, wow, the woman that I want badly, but have not been allowed to explore, has rejected me and said that she wants to be with my homeboy, who I don't think is treating her right. And so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give my homeboy tips about how to treat her better, even though I can't have her. And when they're going to try to kick her off the show and not give her a chance, I don't give a fuck if Ace and Taylor and Clark and everybody else is quiet. I'm going to speak up and say, no, Clark, respectfully, we don't know you like that. Olandria's not going anywhere. I've said this a million times. The way a man treats you after you reject him is his real character. I don't love Nick because of how he treats Olandria in the Knicks commercials and in Greece and Mykonos. I love Nick because how he treated Olandria after she told him no in front of millions of people, and he still kept her safe. That's why I fuck with Nick. All these optics that the rest of y'all like, that's cute, but I'm not moved by that. I will always judge a man by how he treats a woman when he can't get anything from her. There are plenty of men in this world who are kind to women who they're attracted to and complete assholes to women who they find ugly. Can we be honest? Even if you don't have shit for Nick, he still is going to show up like the man that his mother raised. So when he says, hey, wow, Cierra's lack of integrity, her lack of decorum and discretion, and the way that she failed to keep Olandria safe, I'm actually good on talking to her. Where's the conflict, guys? Where's the conflict? I'm asking a real question. Where's the conflict? What's inconsistent here? So in the middle of Nick giving all this grace, Cierra doubles down on the petty in a way. Somebody said, how is he friends with Taylor? I don't think he's friends with Taylor anymore. I think they were all friends when they first came out the villa, all of them, right? And as they've watched the episodes and seen people's interviews, they've pulled away. The way Nick acts with Taylor in that Kiki Palmer interview right out the villa is very different from how Nick now acts around Taylor in interviews and appearances. The body language is completely different. Before it was, oh, me, Ace, and Taylor. Now it's like, oh, Ace is my boy. Hey, what's up, Taylor? Because again, Nick is going to be cordial to everybody. He's a showman. He's a charming character, right? So he's going to be pleasant to everybody, but his body language tells you who he fucks with versus who he's being cordial to. And a lot of y'all don't know the difference. Cordial is the cold version of friendly. Friendly is warm. Cordial is decorum. Please do not mistake him having decorum with Taylor and contractually obligated ecosystems as him being friends with Taylor. Two very different things. And also be clear, What did I say earlier? The entire time that Taylor was dating Olandria and Olandria was picking Taylor, Nick was making sure that Taylor knew how to treat his girl right. So in his mind, I don't care if I'm with her or not, you're going to always be good to my bitch, right? As long as you keep it cute with her, we're good. Next thing has always been, as long as you don't play in Olandria's face, we're good. Whether it's black men, white men, the media, or fucking Cierra. I am not a Nick apologist. I am just someone with superior pattern recognition skills based on the testing they made me do as a child. This is just pattern recognition. This is not caping. Because if that man ever deviates from that pattern and his integrity is compromised, I'll be the first person on here talking shit. My allegiance is to the truth. It's not even to Nick Olandria, it's to the truth. Right? So let's get into what Cierra did with Vic's Grace. This bitch.
Are you saying I'm your dream girl? Basically. Oops.
I don't want to be somebody's dream girl anymore. I want to be their absolutely worst nightmare.
She posted a video of her saying to Nick, are you saying I'm your dream girl? And then posted this video clip of her saying, I don't want to be your dream girl anymore. I want to be your worst nightmare. For someone said, Nick even called out Little Yachty. He don't even care if you're a celebrity. Which, by the way, you know, is a man after my own heart. Because people are people to me. Let's continue to see. Clark gives me colorist vibe. Ooh. I'm gonna let Clark doesn't talk enough. Give us nothing. So I don't know yet. I'm gonna let her. Somebody said with Bantu knots. Yeah. Let's keep on seeing how Cierra is dealing with Nick's Grace.
It's a new purchase. It's the Burberry Her perfume.
Just play it again. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna play that clip again.
So to me, I was like, all right, I'm gonna take that on the chin.
Are you saying I'm your dream girl? Basically. Oops.
I don't want to be somebody's dream girl anymore. I want to be their absolutely worst nightmare.
It's a new purchase. It's the Burberry Her perfume. Someone in the villa was wearing this.
Olandria, what perfume do you wear?
I wear it all types. Valentino, Burberry Her.
Did y'all see that? Cierra pulled up a box and said, oh my God, somebody in the villa. I don't know who this is. Somebody in the villa was wearing this perfume. It smelled so amazing. Somebody was wearing, I don't know who it was. There was only 12 of us, bitch. Somebody was wearing this perfume. It's so amazing. And so I went and I got it. And of course, Nick Olandria was like, bitch, somebody, you mean Olandria? Say her fucking name. Why does the clip keep going backwards? Hold on. Let's play it again.
All types. Valentino, Burberry Her.
It's a new purchase. It's the Burberry Her perfume. Someone in the villa was wearing this.
Olandria, what perfume do you wear?
I wear it all types. Valentino, Burberry Her.
When I get rich,
By the way, I want to talk about this comment. On Kathleen Light's most recent podcast, she said that she saw Nick give girls the eyes while always doing business in another room. You guys, I will tell you this, and this is something I'm going to say about my sisters, because, you know, I don't believe in gender wars, and so I check women as much as I check men. I check people. When you're not used to a nice man, friendliness and just being cordial looks like flirting. I'm saying it as somebody who's also very friendly. I can't tell you how many times people thought I was flirting with them while I was just being a decent fucking human being. And I see that in Nick. I'm wondering if he has Gemini in his chart. I have a lot of Gemini in my chart. If you are someone who is very charming and gregarious and you like people, you're a little cheeky. These are all things that I see in Nick that I see in myself. I'm a very cheeky bitch. But there's no way I've never cheated on anybody in my life. I've never cheated on anybody in my life. But to see me walking around a room, I'm winking at everybody. So my answer is I'm taking it with a grain of salt. Because nice men always get called as hoes. All of them.
Perfume do you wear?
I wear it all types. Valentino, Burberry Her.
when I get rich, the first thing I'm gonna do is invest in this NYX Line Loud lip liner because
Cierra now wants a NYX promotion, guys. The same NYX that had Nick and Olandria sell out by 5 a.m. the next morning after it came out that night. Now Cierra's trying to court NYX.
it lasts all night. Like, I've basically been through a train wreck tonight, but my lip liner remains unfazed. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, she did say when I get richer, girl.
Mama? Come.
For those who don't know, I wanted to let you know, give a shout out to Olandria about Olandria being called the Bama Barbie. And I want to make sure that those who are not as obsessed with this as we are to understand what Bama Barbie is. This is what they call Olandria. And we're going to see how Cierra is responding to the entire world, recognizing that Olandria quite literally looks like a Barbie doll. Like, Mattel owes her a check.
Who's this?
So they're asking a 5-year-old, baby, who is this? Listen to what a 5-year-old who doesn't have Wi-Fi has to say.
Barbie.
Barbie?
Yeah.
What about this?
Barbie.
Why do you think she's Barbie?
Because they look like Barbie.
Oh, to the person who said the next video is old, pre-Love Island. Guys, I know the video is old, but I also know how the industry works. I work in editorial. People will often clip and post their own stuff in order to push a narrative. I'm 100% clear that Cierra is pushing on a lot of these clips herself. That's a whole other conversation. She has an agency. She has a talent agency, guys. Guess what talent agencies do? They pump up old clicks to create a narrative. So the age of that clip actually doesn't matter to me because I already checked into that. I really do think that Cierra is the reason why we know so much about Cierra. She doesn't have a stand-up. She doesn't have a hive. I'm clear that Cierra is clipping up her own shit and then feeding it to the algorithm. I'm very, very fucking clear. Just wanted to make sure that, because you know why I know? Because I've been part of groups who've done that for work, guys. The industry is smoke and mirrors. All right, back to Barbie.
They look like Barbies?
Yeah.
Bama Barbie, let's go party. Oh yeah. You better work. You better work. Oh my gosh, y'all look so good together. Oh my god. Oh, I love how y'all make each other laugh. Yes. Handshake. Yes, it's giving. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You feel like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. Ooh! Olandria. Oh my gosh. Between Esther, Matthew, hubby, the team, you got a dream team. Yes. Look at all these looks. Serving.
That's a fucking Barbie doll, y'all. Seriously? Even if you've never watched Love Island, that is literally a black Barbie doll.
Shining, yeah.
And this is what Cierra did. Cierra's response to everybody calling Olandria Bama Barbie because she's from Alabama was to book herself her first appearance ever. Her first appearance ever. Marketed as Side Barbie. Oh, if Olandria is Bama Barbie, I'm Side Barbie. Do you understand how sick this is? Do you understand how sick it is that rather than just leave them alone, she is now marketing herself as the alternative to Olandria? And for those who missed it, she's not doing it where she lives. She's doing it in Houston. Now, why would Cierra have her first appearance in Houston of all places? Where does Olandria live now, guys? I'll wait. Where does Olandria currently live? Houston. She literally, intentionally booked her first appearance, marketed as Side Barbie in Olandria's area. You mean to tell me in all the places in America, 50 states and God knows how many territories, Houston, not Dallas, not even Austin, but Houston, Texas is the only place? Y'all don't think that's weird?
Side Barbie? Really? She's such an odd individual. Like, I don't know. And then Adrina commenting under it saying, oh, we're all Barbies. Some stupid weird shit. There is a group chat somewhere. And they're talking hella shit.
And if what I seen on that show told me anything about Angina, Angina is 100% like she would love to be in that mean girl role. She would love that.
I need you to read this. At this point, it's scary. I need you to read it. I will read it for you. Cierra is hosting a party called Side Barbie in Houston, Texas, where Olandria lives. For the people who are confused, if I were I'd be out of town that weekend. It's getting a little single white female.
If I was Olandria, I would be out of town too. Because Olandria stays booked. If I was Olandria, I would intentionally find where Nick was and lay up underneath him and post selfies all fucking weekend.
This is a comment under Sharon's post. Like, your 404, like, it's scary, right? I'm not the only one who's finding this absolutely insane and crazy, and it's given stalker behavior. I don't.
Those who are saying the promoter did that, here's the thing. When the promoter comes with something, you can say, no, I'm not going to agree to that. So even if the promoter came up with it, her agreeing with it is wild to me.
No.
Okay, so fun fact.
So here's the thing. For those who are like, why do I believe that Cierra is behind these clips that just so happen to be circulating everywhere? Number one, she keeps making videos about how, oh my God, I'm so controversial. Every move I make, people are talking about me. As somebody whose first job in New York was working in PR, God, a million years ago, PR is very intentional. Nothing is by mistake when it comes to PR. And listen to what Cierra has to say about her career goals, right? Because all human beings operate off of incentive. Now, what is Cierra's incentive to be so tethered to Nick Olandria, considering she got the villain edit? Business.
A month before I went into the villa, I actually emptied my life savings. I took out a loan and I purchased a business. I own a talent agency, so I have a full roster of creators. I have employees. I have a really amazing business partner who was able to keep everything running and thriving while I was away. And now that I'm out, it's back in CEO mode, baby. Back to the grind. I think the 404 thing is so funny. You guys are clever as hell. Like, the internet never ceases to amaze me.
Did you hear what she said? She knows you guys call her 404. For anybody who doesn't know what 404 means, see error. 404 is the error message, ERROR. So they're calling her see error. So 404 means you are in error. Does that make sense, guys? So those who were in the comments who were like, what does 404 means? She is in error, a mistake. The 404 message that you get on the internet when you go to a page that no longer exists. That is brilliant. As a bitch who likes puns, can we admit that see error 404 is fucking brilliant? Can we admit that? Y'all ate with that. And somebody told me that, by the way, is this true? Somebody told me this is the sign language symbol for the number 8. Is that true? I mean, to eat, the word 8. So if this actually means 8 in sign language, that's also very clever. But yeah, they're calling her an error message, a mistake, a link that no longer exists, the depths of the shade. Ugh. Some of y'all are scholars and don't even know it. But she's claiming, as any CEO of a talent agency, I want to know who the fuck is in the talent agency. She's claiming that she loves that you guys are calling her 404. And guess what? I believe her. I believe she likes that you're calling her Cierra. You know why? For the same reason that we've only heard Clark talk about 17 times in the last 3 months. And yet we're all saying Clark it. Relevancy. Right? In the same way Clark gives us nothing every day. And yet every day we quote her Clark it. Cierra is still clever enough to keep her relevant. And the only currency, fuck integrity, right? Because niggas operating off of integrity. Fuck that. Olandria's operating off of the fact that she just wants to keep herself safe after she was attacked. She wants to feel safe and be in love. Fuck that. Cierra only wants to be relevant, especially if it can help her alleged company.
I did not go to the reunion, guys.
Sweetie, you weren't invited. But okay.
I didn't go to the reunion, and I'm okay with that. Like, I just feel like any conversations that I would want to have, I don't want them to be on a stage in front of people with the cameras and the theatrics. Like, I want...
Cierra doesn't want... Cierra, the bombshell who was prancing around like a flamingo doesn't want. Shout out to Jada and everybody else who's sending me the clips. Oh my God, right now we have 22 people in here. That's my angel number. Okay, now it's 2229. I'm upset, but I just have to count that out because I love 2222. All right, let's go back to watching Cierra lie.
Real, raw conversations and honesty, and I just don't think that is something I ever would have gotten at the reunions.
Imagine being grown and still lying. You lying still? Wow, okay.
Now, it's all funny until the EQ part of me, right? The coach in me is like, this is all funny and I'm getting concerned. Because living in LA, I cannot tell you how much it fucks with somebody's mind. I'm going to come down for this for a second. I know so many friends who live in expensive apartments, are very attractive, go to brunch, everything's great. But if they haven't had a show or a project in months, the feeling of being irrelevant starts to erode their self-esteem. The dopamine high, think about this, right? The dopamine high that you guys get when you're having a bad day and you feel ugly or unwanted or you're going through a breakup, what's the quickest way for you to feel good about yourself? Post a cute selfie. Even if you're lying in your bonnet, looking homeless, you know that if you post a selfie, all those likes, all the, ooh, you look good, bitch. Ew, you look good as fuck. All the fire emojis, all the heart eye emojis will make you feel good, right? Somebody said food. Yes, emotionally. Are you a tourist? Not food, right? In this social media heavy world, attention and validation is a currency. We all, to some extent, have an addiction to it in small doses. Now imagine you were almost part of Olandria. Imagine you are someone who was so obsessed with Love Island, your friend actually threw you a Love Island birthday party. A Love Island themed birthday party. In fact, should I play that video again, guys? I feel like the people who are new here. Let me see. I'm concerned about playing the video only because I did not block the slur out of the video. And at the time of me posting that video, I told you guys, I intentionally did not block the C word because last year I posted a video about how the C word was a slur because so many Black and Latin people don't know it's a slur. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, look at my eyes. Look at the shape of my eyes. There's a name that people used to tell me when I was younger. They're like, oh, you have big eyes, but they're also blank. That blank is a slur. And I had to start telling people, don't call my eyes big and blank, call them almond shaped, right? Cierra, when she used that word, I think we all thought that she was going to be so mortified that she was going to disappear. I think you guys underestimated how addicted she is to the dopamine hit of being acknowledged. If you feel like you're on a high when you get, let's say I'm gonna pick somebody right now. Answer this question, guys, in the comment section. If you were having a bad day right now, you lost your best friend because she decided to betray you, your partner dumped you, and you're worried you're getting fired, and you went on your Instagram right now and there was 1,000 fresh likes on a selfie of you telling you how gorgeous you are, how would you feel? She just shouldn't have fired because she's catching smoke. Good. We still saw it. The internet's forever. We still saw it, but I'm happy she changed it. Although, guys, the event is tomorrow. So changing it right before the event starts, kind of lame. How would you feel if you were having the worst day ever and 1,000 fresh likes hit you under a selfie? Who is going to be honest here, guys? Let's see how honest you are. Great, absolutely. Uplifted, absolutely. Pretty good, honestly, absolutely. How would you feel if you were trending on TikTok right now? Your name was like the #3 search of all TikTok. How would you feel? How would you feel if you pull up just your name and the drop down had 20 different searches underneath it of what people have been searching under your name? Can we all be fucking honest? Cierra is the worst part of all of us. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being honest. Phenomenal. Why? Somebody said still shit. No, you wouldn't, honey. I promise you. I've had some really soul crushing days, and the dopamine hit that I got from just a small smidgen of really great compliments online. Literally, what was it? 3 days ago, I was feeling exhausted and stressed, and I was like, I have so much work to do. Because y'all don't understand, it takes me hours of research to do one of these lives. I don't have the luxury of being irresponsible like other content creators because I talk too much shit, right? I talk way too much shit to be lazy and irresponsible. So before I do a live, I do hours of research, and then I have to write a script, and then I have to edit the clips, and then I have to put them together, and then I have to do a live for 2 hours, and then I have to promote the live, and then I have to do clips for the live, and then I have to answer your comments. It takes so much hours just for one video to come out for you guys, right? And in the middle of me being overwhelmed by that, because while I'm doing all that, I still have to go bring my mother fresh strawberries because strawberries make her happy, and her roommate just died. In the middle of all that, I go to my TikTok, and a young lady has sent me a message saying, hey, Blue, and she's in here. Thank you so much for sending me that message. She said, hey, Blue, I've been going through a lot, and I almost unlived myself back in February. And I need you to know how much your videos have helped me. I got so emotional, and I felt so affirmed, and suddenly I was able to get up and get back to work, right? That's positive reinforcement because I've had tens of thousands of dollars of therapy. But there's a negative iteration of that as well, guys, right? Somebody says, Bluecentric, are you a meme? Am I a meme? What does that mean? Bluecentric, are you a meme? What does that mean? Am I a meme? I don't know how to answer that. So to be clear, if I'm somebody on a mission whose intention is to move with integrity and have a positive impact, and even though being famous has never been my intention, I've been offered opportunities at fame that would have been so bad for my integrity, and I've said no. Me and Bridget Kelly constantly talk about how we would be so rich if we had a little bit less integrity. We're the girls who will say no to a bag of money if we think that it's not going to age well. And we do it often, right? So as someone who cannot be moved by fame, as someone who will literally turn down money if I think that my hands are dirty, even I'm not immune to the affirmation of one stranger sharing a testimony on my TikTok. And you want me to believe that the rest of you are immune? Come on. The reason why I wanted to bring up Cierra today is because she's a cautionary tale. We are all fed up. I don't care who you are. We are all fed by being acknowledged by hundreds of people. Some of you just dozens of people. Imagine if millions of Americans know your name. Even if they're calling you Cierra, they all know who the fuck you are. That is relevancy. And that is a powerful currency. To the person who's saying they're immune, when did you test it? Because everybody's immune in theory. When did you test it? In the words of Mike Tyson, everybody knows what they would do in a boxing ring until they're punched in the mouth. I thought I was immune. I thought I was immune until I was on a radio show in 76 markets. And my cousin called me one day going to church and said, I heard you and Jason Lee on the radio on Jam 94.5, the station that I grew up listening to all through high school. Nobody's immune, babe. I think you think you're immune, but let you be tested. I promise you, nobody's completely immune. Because you know why? Affirmation is a human trait. All human beings need a base level of affirmation. The only way you'd be immune is if you were a sociopath. And if you're confessing to that, please don't do that on this platform. All right, let's continue.
At this point, I'm getting like major secondhand embarrassment from Cierra. And I'm just like, sis, maybe you just need to go book an appointment with your therapist or get a therapist. I just take the social media break you said you were going to take. Just take a break. You can go like a month or two without social media. For you to get on live and once again start talking about Love Island and the reunion, you weren't even invited. Like, for you to say that you don't think you would have got a real and raw conversation even if you went, sis, you weren't invited. You weren't invited.
You weren't invited. Titanium. So the question wasn't about hating attention. It was about being immune to affirmation. Just want to point out that nuance. I'm not saying that you need to love being on TV because I hated going viral. I'm saying that nobody's immune to affirmation. That's a human basic need. Whatever affirms you will have an impact. I hope that clarifies, guys.
You got basically fired. Like, I just, and then just be like, everything I do is controversial. And it looks like you got more filler. It looks like it's either migraine and you got more filler. You need to go dissolve those lips and go touch grass and just take a break.
So is it wrong for me to say that Side Barbie might be the first case to experience Love Island psychosis?
You guys, this actually made me pause because this is an interesting take. We've seen people be hated on Love Island and try to extend their 12 seconds of fame, a la Coco and the girl from last year. What's her name? Andrina? Not Andrina. That blonde girl from last year, the Latina girl who was always hated and was trying to be a singer, and now Cierra and her are friends. We've seen that happen before. But imagine what it's like to know that you were almost the other half of Nick Olandria. I think it's Olandria and Nick's stardom and Andrea. Thank you. Right? Andrea was cringe last year. We all know Andrea was cringe, right? Cierra is a different level because Cierra isn't just cringe. She almost won the gold. Nick Olandria is the gold standard of this season. And to be this close to being Nick Olandria, I think that's what's haunting her. Oh no, why did the clip go all the way back? Hold on. Let me try to, there we go. Sorry guys, the clip jumped. There we go.
You got more filler. You need to go dissolve those lips and go touch grass and just take a break.
So is it wrong for me to say that Side Barbie might be the first case to experience Love Island psychosis? Like, walk with me here. Essentially, if you were part of the Nick Olandria hive, you know, or you might have heard that Cierra is going to be in Houston on August 23rd for like a you know, a rave show in a college campus there. In the flyer, she's called Side Barbie, which, as you know, the person who has kind of trademarked the term Barbie in this cast has been Olandria. And I just find it so strange because, like, when people talk about AI and AI psychosis and the fact through their conversations with ChatGPT are entering into a sort of psychosis, like, I can see that totally happening with Cierra. The fact,
you guys, one of the reasons why I'm so nervous about ChatGPT is not because I'm adverse to advancement. It's because the application is already alarming, and I'm clear. And I'm gonna, you guys know I love to make predictions and watch them come true. I'm very clear that 20 years from now, there's going to be a new subset of mental health issues spawned by the internet and ChatGPT. I'm so fucking clear.
we learned in the live a couple of days ago that Nick was likely to, or he was trying to visit Olandria in Houston before the New York Fashion Week, but Olandria had started penciling in some other engagements around the same time that Nick was going to be there or was planning to be there. And so Olandria was like, well, you know what? When we share a calendar, I will let you know where I'll be and then you can come and find me. And then within 2 days, we find out that Cierra is going to be in Houston.
Y'all. Did y'all hear what this woman just said? Did y'all hear what this woman just said? A couple is having banter about being in Houston together around this time. And within 48 hours, their alleged stalker, has an event in the same town using a spinoff of Olandria's name. Somebody just said she could do numbers in LA. Why Houston? Exactly. Houston is nowhere as big a market as LA. Hell, even Miami, right? Cierra would do great in Miami. Houston, right? Houston, which is known for Texan barbecue, great Mexican food and Mexican people, and Nigerians. Houston. New York would have been obvious. We're going to get to New York in a second. New York's in the Olandria, if you can hear the sound of my voice, stop talking about your calendar with Nick on air because Cierra will follow you everywhere. I promise you, she's going on tour.
I don't know if she approved of the photo or of the name Side Barbie or if she even gave it to them herself. But I just find it super weird how much she has attached herself to them. I can see this having a negative effect on her, and it's quite bizarre.
I actually will be coming to New York very soon. I'm gonna be
Surprise! She's going to New York. And guess when she's going to New York, boys and girls? The same time that Olandria will be there for New York Fashion Week. Y'all, this is actually scary. I am concerned. For the person who said, why didn't you go to New York? Oh, honey, she's going to New York. She's going to New York. Ask it. Cierra is like, what is it, that thing where you say red rum 3 times and a murderer shows up or something? What's that thing called? There's an old wives' tale that no, Candyman. Cierra is Candyman. If Nick and Olandria say, where do you want to go 3 times and click their heels, Cierra's gonna show up. I'm sincerely nervous right now, guys.
for Fashion Week. We'll be back for New York Fashion Week.
What are you wearing for Fashion Week, though? What are you wearing for Fashion Week?
I don't know.
I think that's for Matthew and Reggie. It's I don't know yet.
Stop talking about Fashion Week on live. So at this point, guys, because you guys know I love me a receipt and I love to do research. There were so many clips of Nick and Olandria saying something on live and then immediately Cierra's announcing it or mentioning it that I actually was like, this live is going to be 5 hours long. I can't go through all of that. I'm probably never doing another 5 hour long live again unless it's like a marathon, right? So just know there's many more examples. Olandria, what are you going for Fashion Week? Hey guys, I decided I'm going to Fashion Week. Olandria, how am I going to see you in Houston next weekend before Fashion Week? Should I pull up? Hey guys, I'm going to be in Houston at Side Barbie. Like, it's actually fucking disturbing. Then I asked myself, because I like to think about what comes next. When this Love Island reunion comes out and starts to dwindle and get ready for the next big thing, right? Because you guys know this can only last but so long before we have next season. I was like, what is Cierra's next way to be relevant going to be? And here, I shit you not, I wish I had made a video to timestamp it. I said to myself, there's one cheap trick that everybody does. Everybody in the industry does it. This is not even a good thing or a bad thing. It's just kind of a thing. If you are broke or irrelevant and you want to be brought back in the fray, what's the one community that will always welcome you back? Even if you are has-been, D-list, ain't nobody buying your records, what's the one community, because they have a lot of expendable income, but also know what it's like to be marginalized, and they all love, exactly, ding, 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 the gays. Somebody said black people. Child, no, we're the first. They come after us first. Black people are the first group, right? If you want to be accepted, you come from black people. If you want to come back, you go for the gays, right? You go to the gays after the blacks have gotten tired of you, in that order, right? How many times have you been to Pride and been like, oh, she's still alive? Oh, okay, she's headlining, good for her. I'm saying this to somebody who lived in DC for 12 years. I'm saying this to somebody who, my first year living in LA, I was literally on a Pride float with late Ashley in Amber's Closet, right? As somebody who's very steeped in the LGBTQ plus LMNOP community, I am very clear. It is not uncommon to find out that an old diva is still alive because she's at the Pride parade. We understand what it's like to be a hidden gem because many gays feel like hidden gems themselves. And I was like, y'all, as long as Cierra does not fuck with the gays, because even she wouldn't do that. At least, Christina Aguilera, shout out to her. Lizzo, when she was under fire, shout out to her. At least those other people had a talent and their moment had passed. But Cierra ain't got no talent other than being controversial. Well, child, I spoke too fucking soon. Somebody said, Azalea Banks, tried to use the gays, then messed that up as well. Exactly. And guess what? The gays let her get away with it for a while before they let her go. Very loyal fan base. Deborah Cox, can we be honest? The voice of the ages. Many of you would not even remember she existed if they hadn't made a techno remix of How Did You Get Here? How did you get here? Doom, 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 doom. Nobody's supposed to be. My good friend, Tidra Moses, right? I should get Tidra on the show one of these days. I love Tidra. Me and Tidra have had many a conversation, actually just one really big conversation that felt like many, where she explained the influence of K Trinata turning "Just Want to Be Your Girl" into a anthem. Now, every time I met everyday people in a sea of gay men, what song do I know is guaranteed to show up? Don't know if you got a girl. Doom, doom, doom. It's the fucking gays, y'all. The gays love to, exactly. And I appreciate y'all because y'all keep my friend paid. Okay, shout out to Tidra. I love her so much. Y'all don't even understand, right? So I know personally many of my friends are paying their mortgages because of the gays. And apparently Cierra is also, somebody said, I know who Deborah is. I used to bell her music at the top of my lungs when I was 5, exactly. And you ain't got to think about it because if it's the right house party, you'll hear it now. Cierra, guys, is already starting to court the gays. Mind you, Love Island just came out. The summer's not even over, and she's already starting to. Let me just play the video.
Not the gays. I love women, okay? I do. I think women are gifts to this earth, and my life would be a lot easier if I was solely interested in girls.
Guys, the gay card is something you're supposed to use maybe a couple of years down the line when you need a resurgence. We are only about 12 weeks into Cierra's. She couldn't even wait till the end of the summer to start playing the gay card. So yes, let's keep watching.
Unfortunately for me, that's not the case. I am really physically attracted to women. I've gone on dates with women in the past and have always just decided that like there's nothing romantic there. So I don't know, if I were to meet a woman tomorrow who...
Oh, for the person who said, didn't she and Kelly kiss in the challenge? Yes. The Sapphic community is also starving for someone to stand this summer after losing Billy and JoJo Siwa. That's true. You guys, Shelly is a queer woman who said she was bisexual or pansexual since they died. Cierra likes attention. Girls who like attention kissing other girls in front of boys in order to make their dicks hard is a tale as old as time. Right? And now she's doubling down on it because she's like, wait a minute. Y'all like Shelly being gay and me and Shelly tongue kissed. So yes, I think this is actually part of how she came up with the scheme. This is a scheme that Todd set up, okay? Okay? Cierra pretending to be a homosexual in order to be invited to pride parades next year is a scheme that Todd set up. Breaking news, story 11.
Brought out the romance in me, then like honestly that would be awesome because I'd never have to talk to a man again.
I'm just really gonna need Cierra to log off. So over on Snapchat, somebody asked her if she has ever been with a woman or is into women. She proceeded to say, if she was into women, her life would be so much easier. How? I'd like to know how.
If she was with women, her life would be so much easier. Have you ever met lesbians? What are you talking about?
I know plenty of lesbians. They go through the same trials and tribulations as straight relationships. It's hard dating. They have the same relationship challenges. Nothing is easier about it. Nothing. Oh, and to pull back a bit, the last time I checked, the LGBTQIA+ community that I'm a part of, we are under attack. They're trying to take away gay marriage. They don't want us to exist. So I would love to know how her life would be easier. She just sounds stupid. She obviously does not think before she speaks, which is evidenced by the reason she got kicked out of the villa. Girl, go read a book. Log off.
So guys, in summation, I have concerns because for Cierra to be crashing out this hard, this early, this is atypical even for Hollywood standards. I live in Hollywood. I'm surrounded by people who have had the ebbs and flows all the time. This is setting off my alarm bells in a way that I sincerely find concerning. Because even though I'm not a Cierra fan, she's still a person, right? I don't wish her harm. I don't wish any of these young people harm. I don't wish Huda harm. Speaking of not wishing Huda harm, and I'm going to get back to it in a second. Now you might be thinking, Blue, you're overreacting. You're an EQ coach, so you're probably just worried about her because you're hypervigilant. No. Who else do we know has a penchant for being a troll, right? Because we're all saying Cierra's in on the joke. She's an agency. She's just trying to get engagement. We're all on the joke. You guys, no. Yes, the side piece booth, guys. For those who saw it, this is the side piece booth that I'm showing. Cierra is currently outside dancing her ass off at the side piece booth, getting ready to be side piece Barbie. Like I was saying, who else is someone who we're concerned about? No, we weren't concerned about because he was a professional troll, and therefore any antics he had, he was in on the joke, so we had nothing to worry about. Who else do you know? Whole brand was being a troll, who is now currently coming undone. For those who don't know, the answer to that question is Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, before he became the megastar that we know now, used to run Nicki Minaj stan accounts. You know, the Barbs love to be trolls. And he would always say, I'm a professional troll. I'm a professional troll. This is not going to get to me because I'm in on the joke. Lil Nas X was recently found walking around the streets in his underwear, looking like he's coked out, allegedly. I wasn't there. And talking crazy to people to the point where he had to be arrested for his own safety. Somebody said Drake. Y'all fucked up. Not Drake. Drake. Lil Nas X is really sad, right? So I just need you to know, the last time I told myself, Blue, don't worry, he's a troll, he's on the joke, even though I had worries, was Lil Nas X, and that did not fucking age well. I should have listened to my gut, right? Or as Patrick would say on Love is Blind UK, my spleen. So for anybody who doesn't know what's happening to Lil Nas X, i.e. a cautionary, Cierra's a cautionary tale for the rest of us who have sense. Lil Nas X is a cautionary tale for Cierra. If you think I'm overreacting, this is why I'm worried. Lil Nas X was 10 times more successful than Cierra. But being a troll is a dangerous game because eventually it turns on you.
Nah. Hey,
What
don't
up?
be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe. Nah.
This is not a video shoot, guys. This is not a video shoot or a joke. They found him in this state, walking around in white boots and his underwear. This is not satire. This is what happens to trolls, even when they're hyper successful, right? If a troll who actually made it acts like this, what do you think is going to happen to Cierra?
Nah. Go ahead, babe. Nah. Didn't I tell you to put the phone down? Uh-oh, somebody's going to have to pay for that.
Breaks my heart.
Hey, for everybody coming to the party.
That's enough of that. I can't watch that again. Where are his team and his people? Guys, the thing about this industry is it's a job. People just want their check. They don't actually care about you. It's very rare that you meet people who want their job and actually care about you. But technically, can you imagine if you went to your employer day after day and did a great job because it's your job, and then one day your employer said, hey, why don't you check on me more? They'd be like, bitch, I just work here. Even though Hollywood is a social game, it's still work. So a lot of people that Lil Nas X might have thought were his friends were just his employees. And you're right, guys, it is sad. So when I say I'm concerned about Cierra and also concerned about her actions, she's a harmful entity and energy, in my opinion, not just to others, but also to herself. All right, this live has gone 30 minutes longer than I planned it to. I'm going to enjoy the little bit I have left of, it was supposed to be my day off, but I've been working all day, so that didn't work out. I'm going to have a good night. I'm going to tell you guys this, though, and I mentioned it previously. If you want to sign up for the On That Shift Emotional Intelligence Workshop, September's classes are booked already and sold out, but there is a $100 off early bird ticket for the January class, and in January, the price will be going up. So it's $100 off the current price, but the current price is going up as well. If you are somebody who's on a budget, this will probably be the least expensive because cheap is about quality. So there's nothing cheap about anything that I do. So I'm not going to say the cheapest. This is probably the most inexpensive price it will be ever again. The price is going up because I do too much work for how much I'm charging. So for those of you who are going through financial straits and sincerely want to join our collective, we meet every single Wednesday for 2 months, every Wednesday for 8 weeks. It's me, you, and 30 other like-minded people. It's kind of like this live, but way more prophetic and way more impactful. And I bring you up on screen and we talk back and forth, right? So it's like EQ work, but like in a fun and engaging way. And there's also a community. After you're done taking the class, there are dozens, there's thousands of people who've taken the class, but people meet people that they like and they become friends. I cannot tell you how many people who've taken the class have become besties, check on each other, go to festivals together. There's a whole group chat they have that I don't know nothing about because I'm the instructor and it's inappropriate for me to be a part of it. It's a community, right? It's a community very much like the community that I'm building on here, but a lot more rigorous because there's certain things that I would never talk about on YouTube because people love to steal. Okay, people love to steal. And like they're saying in the comments, please like the live. I'm getting protect EJ. That is the mantra. Once this live is over, please, please, please wait for the live to be over and write in the comments, protect EJ. And also make sure that if you want to join us, that you do. And if anybody wants to know about Tarot Tuesdays, I think I've already made this announcement 3 times already. Tarot Tuesdays will be happening. I got enough votes. I said if I got 100 people saying it, I would do it. I got 100 and then some. So September 2nd at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern, mark your calendar. We will be doing Tarot Tuesday every first Tuesday of the month from now until next summer. If I don't do shit else on this page, we will be doing Tarot Tuesday every first Tuesday of the month from now until next summer. And I'm going to have to try to figure out how to do it in a way that's super fun and engaging. I'm also going to be doing some other stuff, but I'm going to wait to mention that because I got to check some things out. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for rocking with me. I'm going to bed now. I hope this was helpful. And I love that EJ came in here. Whoever got EJ in here, thank you. And I'll keep you posted about when EJ is going to come on. All right. Until next time, hold on, make sure I'm not missing any lives. Protect EJ. What's the time limit for each Tarot Tuesday? No more than 2 hours, child, or I'll pass out. About my tarot, yes. I love that you guys were doing Tarot Tuesdays, and we're also going to be doing tarot classes, but that's going to be more on that later. I'm tired. More on that later. I had to go. Please make sure you like this. Please make sure you share this. And please make sure if you're not subscribed that you do, because a lot of you come in here. Again, 80% of people who watch these videos are not subscribed. Please subscribe so the algorithm understands that there's value to the work that we're doing here. All right. Until next time, love y'all. I will see y'all on Monday, right at the end of the reunion. By the time I see you guys on Monday, in the next 48 hours, I feel like a lot will have happened. All right. Until next time, love y'all. Bye.